Marvel can't get their shit done on time and they push back 2 motherfucking Avengers movies. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, who wasn't? Dude?
Right? Not only, Adrian, are we not getting Avengers Doomsday next year, not only are we not getting the Batman 2, now we're not getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 either. So, another pushback.
But you know what? You're going to have the Hallmark Channel stepping up around November, right? Right? No, actually,
that's just for you. Stop criticizing a movie studio for trying to make money.
It's a business.
If they don't make money, you don't get no fucking movies.
Movie studios and churches.
Right.
They're business.
This is Only Comics, where we discuss comics and only comics, Adrian.
And sometimes some other thing.
Cody Rhodes got cheated out of his championship at WrestleMania. John Cena cheated. He beat him for his belt, right?
Okay.
He's been gone since then. He shows up to save one of his friends that John Cena's beaten up. Mm-hmm. And his first response is not, hey, I want my belt back. I want to get in a tag team match with my buddy and fight you. Even though it's scripted, make it make sense.
So you beat me at golf, but I want a basketball rematch.
Yes.
Wow.
Essentially, yes. In hindsight, unaliving Tony Stark in Endgame was a major fucking mistake. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, bro?
It's getting better, man. This weather, dude. What did we just have? Like a nor'easter or something?
We had a nor'easter of pure rain. What was it? Like Thursday or Friday? Yeah, it was a mess. Now it's starting to get warmer again. Yeah. Summer may hit us at some point this year.
I'm thinking the seasons are kind of sliding a little bit, maybe like a month off. Yes. So it'll probably be warm into September, right? As opposed to being, the blazing heat in August. So which means that we're probably going to have another mild winter. Yep. I mean, I call it mild, but sure, compared to what we used to get like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's like the season's been pushed back, Adrian.
Right.
So now, speaking of pushback, there's some things that have been pushed back that I'm going to tell you about today.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you've seen the news yet.
I don't watch the news.
Okay. Well, like the comic news. No, not like the real news. That's the real news. The news that's on TV is the fake news, as they say, right?
Got it.
But the summer's not the only thing that's been pushed back, unfortunately. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars has been pushed back, okay?
Of course.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about Saturday Night Main Event. I know you have no idea what that is.
I'm assuming this is a wrestling thing?
Yeah. There you go.
Right,
there you go.
Right.
We have The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, right? And the season finale is actually, by the time you're watching, the season finale already happened. I got some comic moments, Adrian. We were talking about some Civil War stuff a few weeks back. And I'm doing my deep dive at home. I'm doing homework for everyone.
Okay.
I'm creating the ultimate Marvel reading guide, okay? Ultimate for me. And it's going to take us from Avengers Disassembled and House of M, which we read recently, through Secret Wars, okay? In between that, there's Civil War, right? We talked about this. And there's Secret Invasion, the one where, they did a TV show that screwed it up.
Right.
Have you read the Secret Invasion comic?
No.
No. I've skimmed through it in the past. It's allegedly it's really good, so we're going to find out. But I'm going to talk a little bit today about how they got from Civil War to Secret Invasion. So we got comic moments, as I'm calling it. We respond a little bit later, and believe it or not, Adrian, TikTok comments are back today. Oh, yeah. We're coming in hot, bro. I'm so pissed off about things being pushed back. I'm like, you know what? We're going back to TikTok comments.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to slap some folks around.
There you go.
We got a hidden gem later.
Yep.
It will remain hidden. You're not going to tell us now.
Nope.
And then we got to agree to disagree. So if you've never been with us before, I'm going to warn you, this is Only Comics, where we discuss comics and only comics, Adrian.
And sometimes some other ththings.
Sometimes, yes. And there's other stuff, a whole other podcast we have, right? So shout out to all the interns out there. That we'll hit you with that on Wednesday. And you should go to the new camera shop. Look at this. Split, dude. It's like,
nice, right?
Look at it. I can see you and me at the same time.
Exactly.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah, but I got to do some other stuff off camera. So let's go back to this.
There we go. That's because no intern showed up today.
None, dude.
Are they taking it off for Memorial Day or something?
I think so.
Got it. Well, happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. Thank you everyone that has served. All right, you have served, Adrian.
Yes.
Well, that's Veterans Day more. It's your holiday because you made it back safely.
I did.
All right, so we're gonna start with the news that It's like a giant fucking turd, Adrian. Okay, it's really what it is. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars has been pushed back by about 7 months. Okay, so originally Doomsday was scheduled to be released May 1st of 2026. Now that movie will be released December 18th of 2026, so about 7 months. Okay. Secret Wars, kind of same thing. They were scheduled to be released May 7th of 27. That's now being pushed back to December 17th of 2027. Okay. It's not the first time they pushed the movie back, right? Why are they pushing it back? They haven't really said it. Well, these insiders, they get these. It's like the insiders get this quote from someone. I don't know what they get it from. But what the insiders are saying is that these two films are among the biggest ever made. I agree with that, right? And the delays simply allow more time to execute on a gargantuan vision, they said. So big vision. That's like big, extra big.
Sure.
Now, initially, I'm like, it sucks that it's being pushed back. Really, selfishly, because I want to see the fucking movie.
Sure.
Right? But if they're pushing it back to make sure they tell the story properly and deliver a really good movie, I think I'm not going to be as upset.
Sure. And it builds anticipation.
Yeah, that's true.
It's marketing.
Yeah. And I mean, we heard recently that they didn't have the script done, which isn't that crazy. There's also this whole Spider-Man dilemma too, where they're filming Brand New Day probably around the same time they'd be filming this. So they didn't know if he was going to be ready, Tom Holland, to even be in this movie. Pushing this movie back now gives them more time to include people like Tom Holland, maybe some other actors that haven't signed their contracts or have carved out the time to film.
Sure.
They're also filming right now, so it's a tight window to film now and put out that movie in a year.
Sure.
So initially I was pissed off, dude, when I heard this the other day.
It's all right. Besides, happy birthday to me.
That's true. So, now, it's funny you say that because December is a big box office time. Like Marvel has put out Spider-Man movies usually in December. Like the Spider-Verse movies, I think both were dropped in December. Your boy James Cameron, Avatar, dropped in December. Star Wars, when they had their little resurgence before Disney really, unalived them, they were releasing movies in December. So it's a big box office time.
Sure.
So maybe they're trying to capitalize on that. Who knows?
Who knows?
But I'm all for it if it again allows for the proper, because sometimes when a movie's rushed, we end up with a shit product.
Right.
We've seen this before.
Yeah. So is Secret Wars and Doomsday going to be Christmas movies?
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. You think Doom's going to have Christmas presents for everyone?
I think he's going to have like a multicolored Doom suit on or something. Santa with a hat or something. Check it out. Doom, right? Showing up in the snow, riding a polar bear, right? With a Santa hat. That'd be hot.
Yes, definitely. We're probably going to go with no. Hey, what is in that cup, dude? You're fucking off the rocker already. We've only been here 7 minutes.
Right? Hey.
So, Adrian, I figured, I was going to ask you a question, right? Is pushback good? Things being pushed back.
It can be.
In general.
It can be.
Okay.
It allows you to, hey, first of all, I think they push back because they listen to our comments, right? And it's like, them boys might be on to something.
They got to incorporate what we're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So they got to incorporate what we're saying. But I think it gives them an opportunity to say, hey, let's stop for a minute. Hey, we're trying to, like you said, they're filming now. A year is really, for something of that magnitude, a year is a very short period of time for them to push that out.
Yeah.
So let's stop. Think about what we're doing. Can we add a couple more people? Because I'm sure there's some stragglers, right? Signing contracts, things like that, the Tom Holland thing. And let's see where we can arc out other projects from this and give us time to kind of incorporate that stuff.
Right.
Or they take it 6 months to do an end credit reel. So, or that.
That too. That's the other thing. Does it open up the spot for more movies, right?
I think so.
Right now there was an untitled Marvel movie scheduled to be released February 13th of 26. And there was one November 6th and November 5th. Those also were kind of bookmarked for MCU titles. They've now been, so the one for February 13th has been removed, and the November of 26 and November of 27 have been amended to untitled Disney films. So who knows? The other thing that it does is it puts some space in between Spider-Man Brand New Day and these two movies. So originally, Spider-Man Brand New Day was supposed to come out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which had everyone thinking, well, now that's going to be a multiversal story, right? Because it's in between. Now it's happening before both of them. So is there a chance that maybe they go more grounded because it is now going to predate these? Who knows? But having some distance between those movies isn't a bad thing.
No, one, it gives Spider-Man Brand New Day an opportunity to do his full run in the theaters.
Yes.
Right, number one. Number two, they can always shoot an add-on to Spider-Man that kind of ramps it up into a multiversal field. So it can be grounded, the original movie. Then they can do a multiversal kind of a end credit or something toward the end, right? So they can do that. But I think mostly give it an opportunity to run its full course.
Yeah. Now, do you think when they steal that idea from you, they're going to like give us a cosign and shoot us a check or something?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. We're going to play a little game here. Okay.
All right.
So Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War, both movies have been pushed back about 7 months. So I asked you, is pushback good? I'm going to throw out 4 scenarios where pushback is a part of each scenario. And you just let me know if it's a good form of pushback, okay?
Sounds like a setup.
Yeah, it might be. Yes, it might be. You know how it goes here. You're here every week.
Go. That's it.
So number 1, when your barber pushes back your hairline.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. You ever that happen to you?
Yeah. They pushed it all the way back.
Yeah, that's how I ended up like this. So that's not good. Another one, when you push back your plate, right, before you stuff yourself like a Thanksgiving turkey.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah. It's not easy though.
Unless you like, going to the max and, going out to the basement, popping the button, popping the waistline button and watching a game.
Yes. Yeah. If you have to unbuckle your pants at dinner, you probably should have exercised the pushback, as they say. Okay. When you're at recess, Adrian, you're a kid and somebody pushes you and you push them back. That's a good thing.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's yes that you push them back. No that, the trouble is going to ensue.
True. And then last but not least, when Marvel can't get their shit done on time and they push back 2 motherfucking Avengers movies, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm going to go with good.
Okay. You're positive today.
Yeah.
I think it might be too. I think it might be. So, anyways, the other thing too was Disney was also scheduled to release a Star Wars movie on May 22nd. So it did kind of seem weird that they're going to put out an Avengers movie May 1st and then a Star Wars movie 25 days later, competing with themselves.
It's not competition though.
Okay.
It's like you got the people that like Corvettes and you got the people that like Nissan GTs. They're not the same people.
Okay.
So you got the people that like, to bring it home a little more, McDonald's. You got people that like Burger King. And you got those people that like, the fries from McDonald's, but the hamburgers from Burger King, so on and so forth.
Yes, perfect.
So I don't think they're going to compete with each other at all.
Right now, dude. Can we go get us some fries from McDonald's and burgers from Burger King?
Yes,
they'll be here any minute.
Exactly. Any minute in the next 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. So all right, moving on. Actually, real quick, I did a little math here, Adrian. The math here is mathing, okay? So I looked back at MCU movies that were delayed. Because we haven't had one delayed, I think, in a while. Well, the COVID stuff and then the writer strikes. But so the original Captain America was delayed 2.5 months. Okay, so that's not too crazy. Black Panther was delayed a year from it. So this is just delayed from their original release date. Captain Marvel was delayed a year and a half.
Wasn't delayed long enough.
Too bad they couldn't delete instead of delay. They had the wrong D word there.
Exactly.
Black Widow was delayed 14 months. Now that was due to COVID. Shang-Chi delayed 7 months. I think that was also due to COVID. That movie came out February of 21. Here you go. Eternals was delayed by a year, Adrian.
Wow.
We could have probably deleted that one too.
Exactly.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was delayed a year. Spider-Man No Way Home delayed 5 months. Thor Love and Thunder delayed 8 months. They had 8 extra months to work on that, and that was the shit sandwich they served us.
Well, they were probably trying to make a decision whether they should put the split in or not. But here's the thing. If you have to turmoil over something that long, you probably shouldn't do it.
Okay. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever delayed 6 months. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania delayed 6 months. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, this is probably one of the best ones in here, delayed 3 years. Now, this was because James Gunn was fired for something he said, like, when he was, 15 years old. They brought it back up. You shouldn't have said that in the past. And they fired him because they're fucking idiots, and they brought him back. Captain America: Brave New World delayed 9 months. The Marvels delayed 16 months. Thunderbolts was delayed 10 months. Fantastic Four was delayed 8.5 months. So this is really, like, people are like, oh, Marvel's done. They're delaying a movie. But they've been doing this shit since, like, they're not the first studio to delay a movie.
No.
I think a lot of times they have this idea, this plan, then they start filming, and then it expands, and they're like, shit, we're gonna need some more time to do this.
Right. I mean, you go to work in the morning, and you might decide, hey, I want some Dunkin'. You make that, you veer off and go do that thing, and it delays you by 5 or 10 minutes, whatever,
Absolutely.
But it's a common thing. And also, the truth be told, once the movie drops, you forget all about the delay anyway.
That part,
so nobody even gives a shit.
Absolutely. So in Doomsday, so forget about the drama behind it. They're filming right now. And little inside scooper says that this battle that we've been talking about, Avengers versus X-Men in the movie, right? We saw some set photos, people breaking in on set and shit, trying to take photos. But it looks like it's an X-Mansion battle with some Sentinels and stuff like that. And so the rumor is the first time we see the mutants in Doomsday, it's going to be this battle. And it will be similar to in X-Men 97 when they're fighting Sentinels. They want to introduce the team so we can see all their powers. What better way to do that than a bunch of X-Men fighting a bunch of Sentinels? So we already saw the design partly of the Sentinels. They look spot on.
Right.
Someone in the comments said the Sentinels in Days of Future Past were designed by Dyson. The vacuum. It does.
Yeah.
Legit. Yeah. So that would be awesome if they did take and also, where did they hear that?
Right here.
Right here. And then the other rumor is Sam's team. So right now we know the Thunderbolts, the new Avengers, who's on that squad. Sam's putting together his own Avengers.
Right.
His team is this is a rumor. This team is comprised of the Falcon, Joaquin Torres, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Wong, Shang-Chi, and then She-Hulk will likely join them as well. Now, notice that no one mentioned Thor, so who knows what team he's going to be on. He's obviously going to play into this. So anyways, moving on. Hugh Jackman. So we're kind of moving on, but we're not, because everything in the news, dude, is about Avengers right now. So his name was not on those chairs, right?
Right.
First of all, do you think he's going to be in either one of these movies? Both?
Yeah, I think so. He's going to show up in one of them.
He's got to be in one of them, right? I'm thinking more Secret Wars.
Yes, I agree with that.
But then again, if they're fighting X-Men in Doomsday,
another airport battle kind of a situation, right?
Which sounds like that's what we're kind of getting at this mansion, maybe. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in Doomsday. They asked him, he's on The View, so they thought they were slick. They asked him, and his answer was kind of funny. He was like, I really have nothing to add. And if I did, I would find a really cool way not to say it. And then,
I like that better than just a straight out line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that's normally what happens, right?
Right.
And then he went on to say that if I was part of the movie, I would dominate and destroy. Every other character becomes a one-man show. Now, there's a lot of characters in this movie.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little wacky. We know that there's a lot of characters in this movie that he would not dominate and destroy. So, Adrian, if you want to go to our new fun shot here, okay? So I am going to throw 5 characters that have been announced for Avengers Doomsday Cast, okay? You're going to let me know. I'll let you know my opinion too. Let me know if you think Wolverine, so Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, would dominate and destroy these individuals, okay? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1 is your boy right here, Cyclops. James Marsden, Cyclops. Does Hugh Jackman's Wolverine dominate and destroy him?
Dominate and destroy? No.
Okay, no. Ian McKellen's not even fucking
not
close.
Even
like,
close, dude.
Just sit down, bro.
Yeah.
Like I loves me some Wolverine, but that's not happening. Falcon. I mean,
yes.
God damn it. Captain America.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Bucky.
Yes.
I think he does, yeah. Last but not least, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom.
No.
I mean, maybe him right there.
You sure?
But no, actual Doom.
I'm not feeling that green though, dude. I think it should be darker.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this was just what he wore when they did the initial kind of announcement at the Comic-Con. So I agree with you. Let's hope that's not the final costume. So well, there you have it, dude.
And that mask should look more metal than plastic.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm
just being nitpicky, dude.
You know what? They probably stopped at Party City right before they went up on stage and was like, dude, just here, use this one. Yep. So, all right. Well, there you have it. That is, with Wolverine Dominate and Destroy. So I think I agree with you across. Actually, the only one I disagree is James Marsden's Cyclops. I think Wolverine would dominate and destroy his ass in a real, full blown, just stab him right in the fucking throat.
Well, there's that, but you got to understand how powerful Cyclops' blast is.
True.
I mean, he can literally level mountains. Now, whether his Boy Scoutishness would interfere or intervene, I'm sure there's going to be something like that.
Right.
But all you got to do is tell him old Wolvie's been smashing Gene. He'll go ape shit, and then that'll be the end of that.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Speaking of Avengers teams, Thunderbolts, New Avengers, right? We saw this movie a few weeks back. It just crossed 325 million at the global box office. So not bad. Now, this movie's not knocking it out of the park by any means.
But it doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to.
All it's got to do is not suck.
True. Now, from, critics' response and fans' response, it's top tier, Marvel movies. Right. So that is just, I do think a lot of people have lost some faith in Marvel. Like, hey, when the Avengers drops, people are going to show up. But they've lost some faith with some of these newer side projects, right? Like, and I think they didn't realize how big of a project this movie actually was.
Sure.
And it was shit. I loved that. That was a great movie. We talked about it a lot on here.
It was not the Suicide Squad.
No.
So anything above that to me is good.
Yep. Those movies at 325 million globally. Now, it's the problem here is the budget's 180 million. And then there's an estimated 100 million marketing budget. Okay. So Marvel's all-in cost is 280. Now, here's the thing what, people don't understand about these movies is that, let's say it grosses 325 million. That's not all going back to Marvel.
No.
There's a revenue share with the theaters too.
Right.
Which I didn't know. It's a dynamic process. It's not fixed.
Okay.
So it's not, hey, it's 50-50, 80-20. It depends on how that movie performs. It's kind of a fluid arrangement that evolves with the theatrical run.
Okay.
So point is, this thing's probably not going to break even. And neither did Captain America Brave New World. So from that aspect, I don't say they need, because, they're 30-something movies in. Not every movie is going to be $1 billion film. It would be nice if Fantastic Four kind of breaks that, cycle.
Yeah.
But,
what do you think? Get it above 5?
Dude, I think Fantastic Four easily would be above 5. I don't think it'd do $1 billion, but maybe 7. I could see it being a pretty big movie, but who knows, dude? It's a gamble with Fantastic Four, because they were popular, but popular like, I think X-Men and Avengers have kind of superseded them, at least recently. There were times where they were more popular.
Well, because they've done such a shitty job with momentum over the years with the Fantastic Four. That's why the X-Men and the Avengers have been more popular.
Yeah. Like, they've never got them right. At least the X-Men, they had good moments. Like, the X-Men, I think movies are better in general than the few Fantastic Four ones we had.
I do agree with that.
And then obviously what they did with Avengers just knocks them both out of the park.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully, they turn a corner with these next movies. Captain America Brave New World's at 415 million worldwide. So that's another one that they definitely didn't, they probably just about broke even.
Sure.
Maybe, depending on the whole ticket split.
And what did the first Captain America do?
It was somewhere around there. It was like,
so it was a setup for the rest of those movies, right? So this is a new Captain America, so it should evolve into more and more things.
True. Yeah, even with Thunderbolts. This is a whole new, we don't even have, we're talking about a rumored Avengers team. We're comparing these to movies when you had Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. You had all these characters that each had their own solo film, built up to an Avenger. That's not
established.
That's not where we are right now.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, the first Cap, the first Iron Man movies, they weren't $1 billion movies.
No.
So, anyway, speaking of Fantastic Four, Adrian, so actually go to the other macro, the one that says something about a comic page. There we go, perfect. And I'll just tell you when to switch to that. All right. So speaking of Fantastic Four, Adrian, they're starting some marketing. Well, first of all, you ever had a Snapple?
I have.
Okay.
And I actually haven't had a Snapple in. It's got to be at least a decade.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this: they don't taste like they used to. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Does anything taste like it used to?
Like seriously. Like side note, why the fuck is everything we eat now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything that's processed, right?
Right.
Does it taste anything like it did 10 years ago?
Because they have the scientists in the labs making these concoctions to get you more and more and more addicted.
Yes.
I mean, what is it? The Chick-fil-A has perfected that shit, right?
Yep.
I mean, come on, you're gonna have a line of cars around a block.
No, they put meth
some
in
chicken.
it.
Meth,
yeah.
is that what it is?
I think with Chick-fil-A they put a little bit of meth, like enough to like not get you high, not get you really hooked, but semi-hooked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either that or crack. It's the only thing that makes sense because I've been eating chicken my whole life, fried chicken, and I've never felt that way about any other chicken.
Right.
Know? So there's something in it.
I stay away from it because I don't want to get addicted. It just tastes like I'd rather go get some nuggets from out of the freezer and throw them in. It doesn't do it for me, man. I don't get it.
It's like what Krispy Kreme donuts do.
I don't get that either. That's like they figured out how to suspend sugar in space and serve it to you in a single serving, dude.
Yeah,
it's too much.
It shouldn't exist. It shouldn't. There's nothing that should taste that good and be that bad for you. Like it just should. It's crazy, dude. Try eating just one. You can't.
I can try not to eat just one. I don't even start because
that's the problem.
I know what they taste like.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is if I eat one, I will eat just that one and that's it. Because it's overwhelming to me. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. It's a lot, dude. But anyway, Snapple, dude. Well, first of all, when you had Snapple, did you have a favorite flavor?
No, but I'm thinking some pink stuff.
Okay. There was a pink lemonade one.
Yeah.
There was the iced tea lemon flavored. And then dude, one of my favorites was Snapple apple, dude.
Yeah.
It literally tasted like an apple. But
no.
All right. Well, anyways, one thing that we have to thank Snapple for right now is the Fantastic Four first steps to doing some promo with Snapple. So go to our new shot here. Look at this, Adrian. This is a first real look at Galactus. So even though he's in the clouds, he's not a cloud. So that's a good thing. What do you think about the Galactus look so far, dude?
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Right?
I think it's spot on.
Yeah.
It's like Herbie looks like a maid though. You know, with his hands all on this side and shit. But, also this is the first time I've seen, I didn't really pay attention to it in the previews.
Yep.
Or maybe they just didn't show it, but Herbie has always been flying in the comics. He's like, half that size.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're going to have a fantastic car on wheels, right? Meaning non-flying, you're going to have a non-flying Herbie.
Okay.
So that explains the skirt.
Yes. True. He's got a little upgrade, dude. He's like a person or downgrade. Okay. And it's early on Fantastic Four too. So who knows? It could evolve. But the Galactus look, dude, I'm loving it. Like you said, it's spot on. And it's got to be the biggest villain we've had in an MCU, like by size wise, in an MCU movie, right?
Well, I think it's got to be. He's probably the biggest villain. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something cool to see. Yeah. So
no, but what I also hope this does is start ushering in the inclusion of all these other. You don't have to. You can have a grounded story, but also have a galactic villain. I think. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Watcher he's a peeping Tom, not a villain. I mean, there's other entities out there that can come into play. So I hope Galactus will usher in this new thing with galactic villains.
Right, and I think that's kind of what we're going to see here because even though it's a space-oriented story, it's not like cosmic level.
Right.
Like it's about them going to basically like the moon and getting, and they're early astronauts too. Right. So I think as much as you can make a grounded Fantastic Four with Galactus, it sounds like that's what this movie's going to be. So on that same note, Silver Surfer, we know, is going to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's going to be the Shia LaBeouf version, which has a lot of people very upset, Adrian. Like, I wanted Norrin Rad. I wanted him. It's like, bro, you didn't even fucking know his name until recently.
Right.
Knock it off. Like, I mean, I always thought Silver Surfer was cool, but I didn't know that he was a lot of people's favorite character in the world.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Were you a big Silver Surfer fan?
Nah.
No, okay.
No.
So there's a rumor that Silver Surfer, now they didn't say if it was this version. Now we know we're in this multiversal world, right? So it could be Shia LaBeouf, it could be Norrin Rad, it could be, it could be you, dude. You could be a Silver Surfer. But Silver Surfer is rumored to appear in multiple MCU projects after the Fantastic Four movie and a solo movie. So let's say to you, do we need a Silver Surfer solo movie?
No, we don't.
Like, and people go, well, you didn't need a Guardians movie, and that was good. Like, okay, I gotcha. But here's my thing with stuff like this: there's a window of time that you can make these movies, right? There's only so many movies that you're going to be able to put out before this thing is done,
right?
We have characters, amazing characters that haven't got solo movies, haven't got sequels. There's so much you can do with what's already there. We don't need to waste a solo movie on. Now, Silver Surfer's a badass character, but it's never really the main character.
Well, not only is he a badass character, but right now, Galactus has him trapped on Earth. He cannot leave Earth.
Yeah.
As punishment, he did strip him of his powers, but he did banish him to Earth.
Okay.
So physically, he cannot go into space anymore, right? So what is he going to do? Be like a Superman? And then, he can't, there is no Clark Kent version of him.
Right, yeah.
So what are you going to do? Take a surfboard and go sit on the top of on Mount Everest and sulk until he hears a police siren or something? Yeah, it's a waste, dude.
Yeah.
He's not a B-level comic book character. He's definitely A-level. However, he's not one of those people. He's like a Galactus. He should not be wasted. There shouldn't be a, comics, an animated series about him.
Right.
He should come in, do his thing, and bounce.
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff I hear, and I just go back to things like the movie Solo. Han Solo, great supporting character, badass. I don't need to know every fucking thing that happened to him since he was it. There's a mystique to Silver Surfer.
Absolutely.
There's an element of unknown. There's what the fuck's he gonna do? What's he thinking? Where's he from? I don't need all that told to me.
Right.
That mystique for me is what attracted me to this character as a kid. He looks cool, right? He's got his fucking surfboard through the space. Like, that's awesome. Powerful as shit. I barely know anything about him except for that he's imprisoned by this giant entity.
Right.
Like, I like knowing less. Sometimes too much. It's like you balls in the lettuce, bro.
Right.
This is some balls in the lettuce shit right here.
Yep.
Doing too much. So, they're trying to just piss me off today.
I think they're succeeding, man.
I do, yeah. And shit, man. Anyways, so speaking of pissing me off, all right. So the Penguin HBO series, we're big fans of this, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about this a little bit last week. And with the Batman 2 being in limbo, it's like one day you hear it's being canceled, then you hear they're starting to film, then you hear it's being pushed back. Who the fuck really knows? Nobody. But the Penguin season 2 may not ever happen, Adrian. Now, here's why I say that. The Emmys are coming up, okay? And HBO has submitted the Penguin with the label limited series. So they submitted in the limited series category.
Okay.
Now, why is that important? Well, if it's a limited series are typically one season, not attached to anything else.
Okay.
They could have, I don't know the name for, the one that would be a show that has more seasons, but now it could be a couple of things. One, I have read that there's less competition in limited series. So maybe they're just trying to get an award.
Good.
Or do you think there's any weight to them specifically submitting this as a limited series with all the Batman news going on right now?
Well, to get rid of the competition or reduce the competition, introducing it as a limited series is a way to go.
Yes.
Right? And a limited series is, so first of all, a limited series is more than one, basically more than one show.
Right.
So it could be 2, 3, it could be 20.
Sure.
It can be one season. It could be a couple of seasons. So it could be more than one season as well, I believe.
It could be, yeah.
So,
but usually they're not.
Usually they're not.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a mystique kind of a thing. I think it's marketing. Yeah. I think all this shit's marketing, dude.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised with, the L's that DC's been taking. Like, let's just be honest, right? Wow. That they're just trying to get a win, right? Let's put it as a limited series, and maybe we have a better shot at winning some awards. So let's just hope it's that, because that was, people say we're DC haters and all this shit, but dude, when they put out good stuff, we'll be the first to tell you.
Right.
The Penguin was amazing.
It was amazing, but then they go and shit on all the fans, right? Because we want more of this content. Right. This is what you should be doing.
Seriously,
and then you're gonna this was good for a limited run, so let's just stop doing the thing that's the most popular on the planet.
Right. So, to keep up the theme today, Adrian, something else that's gonna fucking piss me off. All right. Oh man, I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, who wasn't? Dude?
Right. Like, they were awesome. And we saw, it's probably 2 years ago now, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem animated film, right? It kind of had a little Spider-Verse influence. Yeah. Like, I've watched it. I watched it again, like probably a few months back. It's a good movie. It's fun. Good first movie, right? And there's a little teaser at the end with Shredder. So we're like, we're getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, right? So that was scheduled for October 26th. This, Adrian, also has been pushed back almost a year to September 17th of 27. So not only, Adrian, are we not getting Avengers Doomsday next year, not only are we not getting the Batman 2, now we're not getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 either. So another pushback.
But you know what? You're going to have the Hallmark Channel stepping up around November, right? Right? No, actually,
that's just for you, bro.
After October, right? Yeah. Christmas kicks in. So screw every other holiday that falls in between. So you go from Halloween to Christmas, right?
Yep.
So you're going to have Hallmark stepping in.
Yes.
You'd be all right.
I guess. Now, this one's a little different. So it's not about the movie itself. Paramount, okay, they're the animation studio behind this. They are merging with Skydance Media.
Okay.
So Skydance Media, they make what was it? Mission Impossible, Star Trek, Terminator, movies like that. So big action movies. So it's probably good for them, right? More capital, more properties, yada, yada, yada. But you can imagine that two big companies merging like that, some of these projects may need to get delayed, right?
Yeah, so, well, the quickest way to make money is to steal it from somebody, either outright stealing or killing them,
right,
or buying it. So, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's what a lot of people. And actually, when it comes to wealth, I mean, a lot of people should actually look at that, right? Don't try to create your own shit. There's things out there that's already working,
right?
Just go and buy
steal ours. Yeah. That's what Marvel does, right? Steal our shit. So,
and don't even give us credit, which is I guess the whole point of stealing, right?
It's a T-shirt or something, dude. Something. Shit. We'll put a little box here, sponsored by Marvel, or not,
or not.
This episode is brought to you by Only Comics. Yeah, we're self-sponsored in this bitch. One thing I did know though, when I was looking this up, there on Paramount Plus, there's a 12-episode animated series that is a direct continuation of the first movie.
Okay,
so there is more turtle content out there. Same voice actors and everything. I haven't seen the artwork to see if it looks the same. But so that story is continuing in animation, or it is in a TV show.
Yeah.
And season 2 of that is confirmed for 2025. So I'm gonna check that out, dude. I didn't even know it was out there.
I don't get why an animation should be pushed back. I mean, what the hell? I mean, especially Teenage Mutant Ninja. It's not like you got other shit going on.
Right.
That's, you don't have like are we going to cross-dress, Michelangelo or make him a girl or, I mean, you don't have those. And even if you did, you're creating all this shit.
Sure.
You don't have actors that you need to sign contracts with. You don't have all this
voice
other
actors.
stuff. Well, but you can change those. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody's seeing them anyway.
Now you're on the other side of it. You talk yourself out of it.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, what would delay a cartoon?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into creating the art. So.
I'm not dismissing all that, but I mean, it's done, and most of it's probably computer generated anyway. And once you get the likeness, you do the little line. So I want Michelangelo to start here, end up here. I want him to do some cart flips in between. So you press play, and then and draw the line, and you're done, dude. I am not shitting on everybody's.
It kind of sounds.
It sounds like it, right? I am not shitting on all the work that these guys put into it, but I just don't understand from the studio's perspective. If you have the talent already in house doing the work, it's not like you got a Chris. You got to replace a Chris Hemsworth, right?
Right.
You got a guy who's drawing something. You got other talented guys that can draw something. I don't get it.
Damn, you're more upset about the Turtles than the Avengers, bro.
No, I'm not upset about it at all. I don't give a shit. It'll come out when it comes out, if it comes out. I always got Hallmark.
All right. Moving on. Last piece of news. The Defenders, they are all rumored to show up in Daredevil Born Again season 2 now. So new rumor there. Jessica Jones, however, has already been confirmed to be reprising her or returning in that show. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean,
absolutely,
not that it wasn't teased, right? I mean, at the end of the last season, he mentioned putting a team together, and naturally you would go to the Defenders since they already have a history, and bringing Jessica Jones back into the fold. So, dude, I'm all for that.
Right. Besides, he needs some time to heal because he got his ass kicked.
Always, still. Not as bad, but God, in the Netflix shows, holy shit. All right, so that was our news and rumor segment, Adrian. We're going to wrap this up a little thumbs up, thumbs down. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Like a bad barber does to your hairline, Marvel Studios has pushed back the release dates for both Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars by over 7 months each, Adrian. I give this news a thumbs down.
I'm going to go with a thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that they're doing they're cooking, right?
Yes.
And they want to give it time to do some extra marinating here.
Okay. All right. I'm just not happy about it. That's just it is what it is.
Sure.
Hugh Jackman has a few jokes on The View when asked about being in Avengers Doomsday. He dodged the question, but he said he'd dominate and destroy every other character in the movie. Thumbs down, dude. I love me some Wolvie, but dude, I mean, Magneto, you ain't going anywhere.
Right. Dude, I mean, you become who you hang out with.
Yep.
I mean, he's a very serious guy hanging out with Ryan Reynolds. Now he thinks he can push this narrative.
Okay. So he's getting a little silly, is what you're saying.
A little silly.
Okay. Thunderbolts / New Avengers crosses $325 million at the global box office this week. Give it a thumbs up, dude.
Thumbs up.
It's doing all right. There's a first time for everything, they say, Adrian. We got our first real look at Galactus in the Fantastic Four First Step Snapple promo of all places. Do I give this a massive thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Also, thumbs up for Snapple because they've been hidden for a long time.
They're like a hidden gem.
Right, and they needed something to bring them back.
For real. I give this a Galactus-sized thumbs up. There you go. So Silver Surfer rumored to be showing up in multiple MCU projects, and for some reason, a solo film after Fantastic Four First Step. So I give the solo film a thumbs down.
I'm gonna do a sideways on the thumb because because it's cool that they're gonna be doing multiple films, but I mean a solo, nah. Not at all.
Okay. We may never see a season 2 of The Penguin, Adrian. HBO submits The Penguin in a limited series category for the upcoming Emmy Awards. Or maybe they're just trying to get a cheap win. I don't know. I give this, I give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up for the submission or the cancellation?
No, because the cancellation hasn't been announced. So thumbs up for the submission, dude. Trying to steal an award. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, DC needs something, dude.
They need something.
If it was Marvel, I'd make fun of them for trying to steal an award. But DC...
They need a win.
Emmys, can y'all just give them something, please? I mean, shit.
Give them a win. Give us some working interns.
There you go.
Not the other interns, but here on set.
Yeah, no, we have plenty of our own interns. Exactly. We need some of your interns. As if 2 movies being pushed back this week wasn't enough, Adrian, we have a third. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem 2 gets pushed back almost a year to September of 2027. I give this a thumbs down, dude. I'm annoyed.
I didn't even notice it as I was switching over to Hallmark Channel.
And last but not least, Jessica Jones confirmed, while the rest of the Defenders are rumored to return in Daredevil Born Again season 2. It's a thumbs up, dude.
Thumbs up.
bring back the people, bring them
That's
back.
it.
So
that's it.
All right. So that is thumbs up, thumbs down. Like this, subscribe, share this with all your friends. Piss them off because a lot of them don't like our views. You know, some of them do. I don't know.
That's okay.
It's okay. So Adrian, we are going to get into, I don't know what I'm calling this segment yet, but it's where I talk about comics.
Okay.
And only comics.
Mhm.
Wait, that would be the show.
Yeah.
It's like moments from the comics. Okay. So Civil War in the comics, there's a superhero registration act.
Comic moments.
Comic moments.
There we
Yes,
go.
this is a comic. So yeah, comic moments brought to you by Only Comics. So look at that. So
It just flows.
it does just flow. All right. So in the comics, Civil War is where there was a superhuman registration act created, right? Tony Stark backed it, Cap didn't. They had a big falling out,
Right.
yada yada yada. Avengers at the end of that are split. There's like an official team, and then there's an underground team that's on the run.
Right.
And they're pretty much they're separate for a little bit, but eventually they come back together for Secret Invasion. This is where the Skrulls, have taken over, and we realize a lot of characters from the past were actually Skrulls.
Right.
This is one of those comic lines that they took in the MCU and literally took a giant fucking shit on for some reason. I mean, we unfortunately we saw Secret Invasion. Right. So, but what I wanted to talk about here, because I'm doing this deep dive, I wanted to talk about how they got from Civil War to Secret Invasion. And there's a storyline called The Initiative. And it takes place across two different comic lines. Okay. It's Mighty Avengers and New Avengers. And the reason I wanted to, there's a lot of characters. There's a hidden gem of yours that's in here. And there's some characters that we've seen in Thunderbolts. Sentry's a big part of this. There's a lot of pieces in play in the MCU for a story like this. So give you some background before we go through these pages. Tony Stark is now the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Avengers are split up. The registered heroes, they form the Mighty Avengers under Tony. The unregistered fugitives are now the New Avengers. They're led by Luke Cage and eventually Doctor Strange. Okay. The initiative program, Tony Stark and the government, they want to have a 50-state initiative. It's a plan to have a government-sanctioned superhero team in every U.S. state. Camp Hammond in Stanford. This goes back to the beginning of Civil War when the building in Stanford blows up. Becomes a training ground for the new heroes. And the Mighty Avengers team, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, though. Ares, God of War Ares, Sentry, Wasp, Wonder Man, and Black Widow. Okay. They're legit public facing, like they are the Avengers now to the public. The New Avengers, you got Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Fist, Ronin, which is Clint Barton, and then Echo, your girl Maya. So they're the underground team. All right. So this is the Mighty Avengers. This is where the whole thing starts. As you can see here, this is the new team, right? You got Ms. Marvel in there, Black Widow, Iron Man, Wasp, your boy Sentry, Wonder Man's in the house. So this comic, Tony and Carol are putting together a new team of Avengers. This is like right after Civil War. So they're kind of picking. So you see like flashbacks and then what's going on currently. The flashbacks are them kind of putting the team together. There's these natural disasters happening across the world all at the same time. So the team was together for like 14 minutes, dude, and this shit starts happening. There's a big battle ensues. Mole Man's in there for some reason. And see Tony's suit up top? So Tony's suit in this, it is, he did some weird shit with his suit. I'm looking for the, and it essentially Ultron hacks it. He's got biological armor, some new update, but Ultron hacked it and rewrote this. So this is where it gets a little wacky. You see how he's kind of like melting and shit?
Right.
So he takes the suit's now biological. So he takes over the suit. We see this big explosion. And then what we're left with here is this. This technically is Ultron. But we've talked, you had a hidden gem called Jocasta recently.
Right.
Or not recently, it was probably 6 months ago.
Right.
Now, even though this is Ultron, it seems like it's based more on Jocasta because we'll get into the look and everything a little bit. But anyways, so the team is sitting there. They're like, what the fuck just happened? Tony Stark turned into this chick. And dude, look at this drawing, by the way.
Right. Of course, Namor is there.
No, that's Ares.
That Ares?
Yeah.
He looks more like Namor.
Namor-ish, huh?
Yeah.
And then
at least the second to the bottom panel, but the third he looks angry.
Yeah. And I don't know a whole lot about Ares, but he's obviously God of War badass, right?
Well, there's certain characters that are shared by Marvel and DC.
Okay.
And Ares is one of those. Normally in Marvel, the god outside of Thor that they usually promote is Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
But in DC it's Ares, which got his ass beat by Wonder Woman, and then she took over his powers and his domain, meaning the ability to raise the dead. So he's not that bad. Or Wonder Woman just badder.
Okay. And he's on the team here because they said he's a mixture of Thor and Wolverine.
Sure.
That's what he brought to the table here. Mm-hmm. So, they got some words, they're going back and forth. He's pissed off. And she basically fucks him up. Well, these bolts of lightning. And then she hits Sentry, but we know Sentry's a badass. And then, fight basically breaks out. But here's something that Hope Van Dyne realizes. She's like, wait, she looks just like me.
Right.
Which is
Jocasta,
right? So she tries to talk her down, whatever. Pretty cool fight here with Ultron, technically, and Sentry. That's a big part of this comic. They're, destroying the city, the whole deal. Sentry's getting pissed off, because that's what he does. And then they realize, let me back up real quick. They realize that we need Hank Pym, right? Because he is essentially the reason in the comics he created Ultron.
Correct.
In this comic, Hank and Janet have been divorced. Mm-hmm. So they need Hank. Hank's over here hanging out with Tigra.
Of course.
Right? He's trying to get his thing going, right?
With that pose, I'd hang out with Tigra.
Yes, he's got the wine, bro. He's getting ready.
Right.
And then his phone starts ringing. Who is it? It's his ex-wife. Wow. So S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up, like literally guns and shit, like, bro, you're coming with us. We need you. They're still going back and forth, Sentry and this Ultron Jocasta. And then this ancient Iron Man suit shows up. Mm-hmm. So this is actually an AI protocol, because Tony's technically dead right now.
Right.
So this comes out. And then Ultron basically takes over the media. And this whole dialogue here is pretty cool. She kind of says, like, you guys are so fascinated. She's like, I've watched your entertainment, looked into your stuff, and I'm going to bring you what you guys are always so fascinated with, your Doomsday, which is kind of, it is true, right? Every medium, like we're talking about The Last of Us later, it's always about this apocalyptic doom.
Sure.
Why the fuck are we so fascinated with that as human beings? I don't know. So she's like, hey, be careful what you ask for, motherfuckers. Ares, of course, attacks the Iron Man suit because he's just, losing his shit. You got Sentry up in here, destroys the Stark satellite. Because I guess they realize, well, Tony's been hacked by Ultron. Mm-hmm. So if these suits are coming out, they're probably hacked too.
Right.
Let's destroy this one. Let's destroy the and then Jocasta, Ultron shows up to Sentry's tower, and his wife's sleeping. She hops up into bed and she kills her. What a nice gift to Sentry. You can imagine what that's eventually going to do to Sentry.
Yeah.
All these Iron Man shoots show up, and they're all controlled by Ultron, so a big fight breaks loose. And then Sentry discovers the fact that his wife has been killed. He's not too happy about that. And then Ultron's trying to access military weapons. Because why wouldn't he, right?
All simultaneously, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me do some background multitasking here.
Yep. So what happens here? Sentry discovers his wife dead. He's all upset. And if you notice the panel, like 3/4 of the way down, dude, he brings her back to life because he's just got so much damn power.
Right.
And then, of course, can't stop fighting Ultron. And then we have the password override was accepted. So now they're coming up with a new plan. Ultron has access to the weapons. Obviously, you see Ms. Marvel here.
Riding the phallus. Sure.
Yes. These two just still fighting, just going back and forth. And then we got Ant-Man, dude. Hank shows up. He left Tiger. He got to do what you got to do, right? And they come up with this plan pretty much reason why they needed Hank was for this right here. They wanted to infect Ultron with a virus, right? Because it's an AI. Mm-hmm. So they shrunk down your boy Ares here, he basically brings a bomb in there on this like axe thing, leaves it inside of her, and kaboom, she blows up. Um, and you got, Sentry basically going almost void over here because killed the wife, yada yada yada. And then he snaps the neck. We end up with this contraption here, infects her with the virus. Everything blows up, and then magically your boy Iron Man is back. Okay, so while that's going on, and then his wife is Sentry's wife is back too, and he's like, "You were dead," and she has no memory of it. Yada yada yada. Iron Man's in the hospital here. Someone comes to see him. We'll get back to that. Okay. While that's going on, same time, New Avengers. We got Ronan, we got Elektra, we got the Hand. Okay. So this group, they send Maya over to Japan to monitor the Hand, right? And she ends up doing what Echo does. She killed a bunch of the Hand. There you go, Maya right there. She's killing a bunch of these. His artwork's pretty cool in here. It almost looks like Tim Sale-ish in a way. That's actually her in the Ronin suit. They got the sushi going everywhere. So she's fucking shit up. And she then encounters Elektra. She's never fought Elektra before. They fight, and believe it or not, Adrian, Elektra unalives her right there. Stabs her all up in the abdomen. She kills her. And they bring her back, and what does Elektra do? They resurrect her. They mind control her. But through this, Maya sends an email to Matt Murdock. He's with the New Avengers, lets him know, like, hey, this is happening, whatever.
Your ex is killing me.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's crazy. And then you got the New Avengers, dude. You got Spider-Woman, Luke Cage, Wolvie, Iron Fist back there, Doctor Strange. So, and we're not obviously not going through page by page. There's a lot of shit I'm leaving out, but I'm getting to the main point. The Avengers, they go over to Japan to basically try to rescue Elektra. And we see
Elektra or Maya?
I mean Maya. Because Elektra, they got her trying to mind control her. You got Silver Samurai in here. He's sitting there watching Mean Girls for some reason. They roll up on him. Ilya's drawing. It was fucking awesome art, by the way.
Right.
And then Doctor Strange is helping everybody out. Yeah. And then while this is going on, let me back up because that's a little spoiler right there. While this is going on, the Mighty Avengers are trying to track down the New Avengers because they're breaking the law. They're out there being superheroes. Dude, you can't do that. Not with this Registration Act, right? So this is a pretty cool scene where Doctor Strange puts on a spell where like the Avengers can't see the underground event. Like they're in the same fucking room, but they're invisible type shit. So it's pretty cool. And then your boy here, dude. Who is that, Adrian?
I don't know.
Brother Voodoo.
Okay.
You talked about him in Hidden Gem recently.
Right.
So he's up in this. They run into Brother Voodoo real quick. That was just cool because it's, you're locked in, dude. You told us all about this character a few weeks back. So there's some interaction there, and then more fight. There's a lot of fighting in this, obviously. You see all these fucking soldiers going on, but I want to get to one of the most important parts here. And dude, they're fucking going at it. Like Wolverine's shit stabbed through them. It kind of it reminds me a little bit of the Wolverine movie. Remember at the end where he's going to fight Silver Samurai and they got ninjas everywhere on top of the rooftop shooting them. It kind of gives me those type of vibes. Basically in the comics, don't go fuck with nobody in Japan. It's pretty much a good rule, right? And then we got Maya up in here. Really what I wanted to get to is this. So these two are fighting again, and Echo decides to return the favor, bro. She stabs Elektra right through the abdomen, fucks her up. She's laying there, but blood's not coming out, dude. There's some green juices coming out, dude. So what does that mean? Bam.
Right.
Elektra's a Skrull. So they find this out. Everyone's panicking. Spider-Woman wants to bring this to a certain individual. The rest of the Avengers oppose that. So they're on the flight coming back. Plane crashes. Spider-Woman grabs the body, runs off. Where does she go? Well, she goes to Tony Stark's hospital bed and like, yo, check this shit out. So, cool little story.
Interesting.
Yes. First time I read it was recently. I enjoyed it. And it really starts that Skrull invasion storyline. There's some stuff that happens after this with Dr. Doom. Funny is Doom has these satellites that has the symbiote in the satellite. It's like a plan to, destroy the fucking world if he ever feels like it.
Sure.
And somebody accidentally destroys one of them and triggers the release of the symbiotes, and they're just like dumped. I think it's like in New York, of course, of all places. Yeah. So he's like, who did that to my shit? So that's kind of what happens next. But I really enjoyed these two stories. And a lot of these pieces that they have, the MCU has a lot of pieces in play to do a lot of this, you know. So next up, I'm going to be getting into Secret Invasion. I've never read that, but I really enjoyed the artwork. Very different styles too between the two books.
Yeah,
but
still great artwork. Though.
Absolutely, do. And just you said this last week about Jocasta. They're going to really need to cast that one right. I know that wasn't technically Jocasta, but modeled after Janet Van Dyne, created by Ultron. I mean, it pretty much was.
Right. But the thing about it is like when I did the hidden gem on Ultron, Ultron despises human, yet everything that he does is in human form.
Yes.
I mean, he must take over a human in order to do something. He's AI. He can literally be all places at the same time.
Right.
Yet he chooses to isolate himself or limit himself to a human form.
Yep.
And then a sexy ass one is at that, right?
Yes.
But Jocasta and Spider-Woman is a underused character. They need to get that person right too.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure in this storyline that Spider-Woman is also a Skrull. So
which is why she's probably protecting the other one.
Correct.
Right.
Or why she's trying to bait Tony and like, hey, look at this, to bring him in to probably attack them with the rest of her Skrulls. Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading.
Unless Tony's a Skrull, say, hey, listen, hey, they doing this
they got
to
one
us.
Of us.
Right.
Yes. So real quick, before we get into The Last of Us Season 2, Saturday night main event, Adrian, this is something that you're not going to know anything about. So y'all take the wheel here. All right.
Yeah,
so this past week, so Saturday main event in WWE, there are weekly shows. There's Raw, SmackDown. There's monthly shows. They call them PLEs, Premium Live Events. They used to be pay-per-view back in the day. And Saturday night main event is an old show, I want to say from like the 70s, 80s, where this is back when cable was a lot different. It was a big deal to be on cable, right? So I think once a month they had this show where you had just a lot of bigger matches than what you'd see on your weekly TV show. So anyways, they brought this back recently. And I'm going to go through 5 points, 5 things that happened. I'm going to do my own thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. So number 1, Big Bronson Reed returned to join the unnamed team of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. I give us a thumbs up, dude. There was a tag team match. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Pretty good match. And then out of nowhere, Big Bronson Reed, dude, this guy is like probably 350, 400 pounds. And as big as he is, fool can jump up off the top rope. And he does this move called a tsunami where he jumps off the top rope, lands on these guys. Pretty athletic for a big ass motherfucker. So he returned and joined this team, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman. I liked seeing that. It came out of nowhere. There was a big shock. So when you can still shock a wrestling fan, it's a big deal because they do these stories, same stories pretty much. Number 2, Zelina Vega retains her U.S. title wearing almost the same outfit as her opponent, Chelsea Green. Here's the thumbs down. Number 1, Chelsea, I don't really care for Zelina with the title. The other thing is, you ever watch, you're not a big sports guy, but you've seen, sports. You ever watch a game and the two teams look like they're wearing the same fucking uniform? Like the colors are that close.
Sure.
You're like y'all couldn't coordinate. Like, yo, you wear your black version today. I'll wear the yellow. Like, that happens sometimes in wrestling too.
Okay.
Like, you got 2 people in the ring. They look similar and they have the same fucking outfit on damn near.
And then when you get bloody, you don't know who's fighting who.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, y'all couldn't coordinate that before. And this happened last night. They literally had like the same outfit. So anyways, number 3, John Cena beats R-Truth dressed up as Ron Cena to retain the WWE Championship. I guess a thumbs up. I love what they're doing with the John Cena storyline. Jesse the Body Ventura. You remember this fella?
Oh, yeah.
He spent about 5 minutes criticizing Damian Priest for winning a steel cage match against Drew McIntyre by walking out of the door after a concerto. Now, all that probably means nothing to you. Here's my thing. I used to love Jesse the Body Ventura commentating back in the day. So I never really saw him wrestle. In my day, he called the matches. Problem is now he's like 100.
Right.
He's annoying. Shut the fuck up. Get him off I understand he's a legend. I get all that. But the way they commentate matches now is a lot different than it was back in the day. And people will argue, that was better. Okay, but this is what we got now.
Right.
You got this guy from like the 70s. You're dumping him into a 2025 commentary team. It just was not a good fit. It was obnoxious for me. So please keep him off the fucking microphone.
Damn.
Yes. And then number 5, dude, the main event ends with John Cena interfering in the Jey Uso Logan Paul World Heavyweight Championship match. He to attempt to cost Jey Uso the match, but then your boy Cody Rhodes returns for the big save, sets up a tag team match for Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. I give this a thumbs down. The tag team match, no one cares. We want to see title match. It's just like you beat. So here's the thought process we're supposed to have. Cody Rhodes got cheated out of his championship at WrestleMania. John Cena cheated. He beat him for his belt, right?
Okay.
He's been gone since then. He shows up to save one of his friends that John Cena's beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
And his first response is not, hey, I want my belt back. Not, I want to get in a tag team match with my buddy and fight you. You stole my championship from me. So, and I know it's a scripted, but it's like, make it make sense. Right? Even though it's scripted, make it make sense.
So you beat me at golf, but I want a basketball rematch.
Yes.
Wow.
Essentially, yes. As we say on here, Adrian, you coined this phrase, the math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathin'.
It's not with this. It's not. So I give that a thumbs down. All right.
Wow.
Moving on. We're rapid fire today, dude. We're fucking efficient. That's how we do it. The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 6, The Price. Wow, you're not, I got a feeling you're not liking this episode.
Man, let's just get this fucking show over with. That's all I want to do. I'm just done. It's not as bad as
Secret Invasion.
But it's just.
What was your issue with this episode?
I'm just done with it's cool that they did the whole, walking through her birthday thing.
Yep, flashbacks.
I'm tired of the guitar thing. Just get over it. And this chick is such a asshole. It's like, it's incredible. It's like every time she opens her pie hole, more asshole comes out.
Damn.
I can't believe it, dude. You're just so ungrateful about everything.
True.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, if you don't get it, he loves you that he killed everybody around you to save your life. And your thing is, well, that's what how the fuck do you know what you wanted, right?
Right.
You know?
You're like, 12, shut up. Yeah.
So that.
Okay. Actually, I didn't mind this episode. I thought it was, there's some silliness here. Like, dude, she keeps getting older and older, but looks the same. Like, I get, like, can we do some makeup shit, make her look, I don't know.
Told you, dude, stem cell. She looks like nothing. She looks like a sheet of paper with 2 black dots on her face. That's all it is.
Damn, fools say look like a thumb. Remember that show with the thumbs? You ever seen that? They put the little dots on there. Yeah. Anyways, we get a little backstory. Joel and Tommy realize that their dad was an ass. What a shocker! Like pretty much, if you're in a show, like your parents suck. Like that's kind of what happens. They don't write stories about people who have good parents. No. And we see a couple things when Ellie burns her arm for the bite, right? We get to see when that actually happened because she just wants to be able to wear, short sleeve shirt, which I get. And going through the birthdays was cool. The Apollo 15 scene, I thought was pretty cool.
No, going through the birthdays first of all, it shows you the depth of love that Joel had for her.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, because he went out of his way like every year to do something extremely special for her. And then the astronaut, the capsule thing was just off the charts, right? First of all, he introduced her to a museum that he found. She was giddy about that. And then he went to the museum, went to the capsule thing. So all of those scenes going through the birthdays were great. It's just that her level of ungratefulness just knows no bounds.
Yeah. Now let's talk about, though, some of the shit that he did, right? Eugene.
Yeah.
Gail's husband.
Yep.
Dude's bit, right? He's not turned yet. Understand that he can. Also understand that Joel and Ellie are well equipped to take care of one infected. Not that you want to chance it, right?
Right.
He wants to see his wife say goodbye. He lies to him, tells him that we're going to let you. Lies to Ellie, tells her, yeah, hey, you go that way, we'll meet up. and then he unalives him.
Well, that was shitty.
Yeah.
That was shitty because I would have just took him out on the spot because, like he said, it's like, hey, Mike, it's a Saturday morning. Hey, Mike, let's go to the mall. If you don't want to go, your immediate answer should be no. Because if you go, then you're pissed off because you changed your day, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna piss me off because you're gonna be like, "Oh, this sucks," and the food, and you're gonna take your time. You're gonna be late, so just off him immediately. Like they said, like he said, we have a protocol for this thing.
True.
There's a reason that they do that because he might have time, but guess what? He might not.
Right.
Maybe they got some fucking werewolf call where he howls and the rest of the infected shows up. You never know what's going to happen. And as he was walking, he was already talking. He was kind of disoriented.
Yeah.
He starts like talking about shit he didn't know, things like that. So he should have just offed him immediately in the beginning and not have this dialogue.
Right.
That's what it should have happened. The fact that he lied, that was fucked up.
It was shitty, yeah. Now, do you think he changed his mind? Like, do you think he had the intention of letting him see her, but like you said, he started getting worse? And as they're walking and realizing, like, you know what, dude, it's gonna be messy. Like, if we chance, like, he's maybe turning quicker than I thought. I should just off him, or do you think his plan from the beginning was get Ellie away from here so I can kill him?
That one,
yeah. I mean, now let's not act like Joel's some fucking saint. Like,
no, he most certainly is not.
He is an asshole to most people. He just it's so I like that they showed the backstory because not that it justifies it, but you get to understand why he's such a complicated character.
Right.
First of all, he's raised by a complete asshole. Then he lost his daughter in the beginning, that first episode. Remember that? And it wasn't even from infected. It was the fucking stupid agent who thought they were infected.
Yep.
And that changed him. Like, and
that
turned him into this, heartless individual that Ellie.
Well, clearly not completely heartless.
Right. Until he met Ellie.
Right.
And that brought that side back out of him. So he's a complicated character. So you're not surprised. You forget because you see how good, like you mentioned with the birthday, he's like, man, this dude fucking loves this girl.
Right.
But you forget who he is to his core. He's also living in a world where you have to be hardcore. I mean, dude, there's infected people trying to fucking eat you.
Right.
Everything can't be utopia,
Right.
So you have to have that edge to survive.
But I think he could have been a little bit more, forward.
Oh, absolutely.
And just we're not going to do this pow.
Right. Which I think that's her big.
Or is it pew pew these days? Everybody, instead of having a gun, you have a pew pew.
It's a pew pew.
Come
yes,
on,
he
dude.
had to unalive all of these individuals.
Yeah.
But you also kind of see, at least for me, I kind of see where Ellie's coming from because that was just one more lie that he told her.
Right.
So yeah, you're doing these things for her, but to your point, why can't you just be straight up about it?
Right.
I think it's the lying that is bothering her more than what he actually did.
Absolutely. And this is not a little white lie.
Right.
To this woman, right, who's sitting here like bawling her eyes out about her husband and stuff.
Right.
This is a complex lie on top of a suspected intergalactic lie.
Right.
Killing off all these people for her, which he hadn't revealed to her at the time.
Correct. Yeah, this isn't like, you asked me to go get some Burger King and you wanted a large fry, but I forgot to order it. And I was like, dude, they didn't put it in the bag.
Right.
Like, that's like a little white lie.
Yeah.
This is like, no, I didn't kill your husband, motherfucker.
I thought that was shitty of her to say that, but I also understand why she did.
She just had enough.
Yeah.
And I think she deep down knew Joe lied to her when he killed the scientists and all those people.
Oh, from the very beginning, she's known.
And she couldn't call him out because she's like, I want to take his word. And then I think seeing him lie to her face like that so boldly, I think she kind of connected the two. Like, wait a minute, if he just did that right there,
right,
what the fuck else did he lie to me about, right? So yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of this, The Last of Us story in general, is how conflicted the characters are and how it's hard to say like who's the hero, who's the villain. It really falls down to what perspective you're looking at. Because you can look at Abby and be like, now, I know myself included, pissed off what she did to my boy Joel.
Right.
But dude, Joel killed her dad.
Right.
Her helpless, innocent, unarmed father.
Right.
For no reason. Well, to her, no reason.
Right.
So you can see where they're coming from.
Well, reason or not, he killed her father.
Correct.
Just like Ellie, despite Joel lying to me, you came in and murdered this man that I love in front of me. So now I'm going to take revenge. So,
correct.
But also just like Ellie, what is it? Ellie was tired of Joel lying. I'm tired of her assholeness. It's
a lot.
Dude, I got to stand up, and walk around in circles for a minute when I'm watching this show, dude.
Hey, that means it's good writing.
Exactly. They got me. They got me, Mike. They got me.
They got you, yo. And then he admits it to her, right?
Yeah.
So that was a cool scene. And I do like how that ended. Like, I don't know that I can forgive you, but I'm going to try.
Right.
Like, I'm willing to give it a shot. So it's weird. In a fucked up way, even though, the death of Joel and all that stuff, seeing that kind of brings it full circle.
Sure.
And it almost allows you to kind of move on. Like, all right, he's done, dude. They did kind of, it patched it up as much as they could.
Right.
Right. Because initially you're like, damn, he died while these two were on the outs.
Right.
But they kind of saved that scene. So,
yep.
Actually, dude, talking through it, I kind of like this episode more than I did before I got here this morning. So,
well, even though I'm pissed off, I'm tired of her bullshit. This is the best episode, I think, for me, other than Joel getting killed.
Really, this season?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't sound crazy. So I give this episode score 8. Give it an
8. Begrudgingly, yes.
Okay.
An 8. Yeah, what was with the last scene? Why is she by herself walking in the dark and all this other bullshit?
Going back to the theater now. So the only thing about the show is I don't know what to expect in the season finale because it seems like there's still a lot more that they need to tell. Now I know there's a season 3, so maybe this second game is being broken up into 2 seasons. Why this season only had 7 episodes versus 9 of the first season, but we'll see. Hopefully they finish strong, dude. All right, Adrian, it's about that time to get into We Respond. So we're going to talk to the interns first. And I warned you, I got some TikTok comments, Adrian. We know how fucking people get on TikTok, dude. Yeah, shit. You want to talk about balls in the lettuce? There's a lot of that going on TikTok. So we can put that on a t-shirt, balls in the lettuce.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah. Would you wear that out to like the grocery store?
I absolutely would not.
Okay. Even though you coined the phrase. Yeah?
Hey.
On a hat. I'll put it on a hat.
My job is to inspire others.
There you go. Dude, it's catching on. I see it in the comments every week. So, all right. Shout out to our intern, our boy OG Dirte. What up, Mike and Adrian? Well, I tried to tell y'all something ain't right at Disney. Bob and Kevin fighting Doomsday delayed. He's more of a conspiracy theorist than us. I'm ready for that Monday already. I did see a rumor about Scarlet Witch getting a movie. Yeah, I would love to see that, dude.
Yeah.
And do you guys think they're going to turn the Hood into Ghost Rider in the Ironheart series? I don't think so, and I fucking hope not. As always, love the show. Keep them coming. Oh, yeah, we'll keep them coming. Dude, I make a prediction. That show's going to bomb.
Oh, yeah?
No one's going to fucking watch it.
Ironheart?
Yep. Even if it's good. Like, I'll watch it. I'm sure. I have faith it'll be decent.
Sure.
I don't think it could possibly be as bad as Secret Invasion or,
I don't know. Maybe they're going to pull a DC on you.
Damn, who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I hope that doesn't happen. Hood.
Well, just the way they promo in it is just like it's just like
yeah.
He's just gonna put something out just to let you know it's coming.
Yeah, it feels like they have no faith in it.
Exactly.
And shit, if you have no faith in it, the fuck you want me to say?
That's right.
DJ Super Soldier, another intern, another week, another banger. Everyone says that. We're going to put that on a shirt too. All right, done. You gotta be with it, specify what banger means. Like people get a little,
No, leave it open. Leave it mysterious.
Oh, okay.
Let the observer figure out or interpret what banger means.
Yes. We have seen only a handful of characters and stories from the comics when you put things in perspective. So my question this week to you both is, what's a comic or graphic novel you think deserves way more attention or recognition or could be the focus of a series of films? Something that's flown under the radar, but really stuck with you. Looking forward to Wednesday's other stuff. What is a comic that I think should one, even though they've taken bits of the Long Halloween, like it's I would just love to see that actual story in live action with the holiday killer every single month, the mystery. That's one. Dude, House of M is one. That would be phenomenal. And again, I know they've taken beats from that and done it in movies. That's another one. Dun, dun, dun. What else?
What's McFarlane's character?
Oh, Spawn.
Spawn.
Yes.
That's the only one that I can really think of.
Yeah, yeah. Just him, like his origin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, who knows, we may get. And then, I mean, DJ, a lot of them they've actually done. Like I would have said Fatal Attractions, where Magneto removes the adamantium like a year, but they did that in X-Men 97. I think X-Men in general, it doesn't really answer your question, but I want to see them hit the tone, nail the tone right.
Right.
Like this, I've always felt like this. Deadpool 1 and 2 feel more like X-Men movies than any other X-Men movie. They feel like they take place in the X-Men universe.
Right.
The other ones feel like they take place, I don't know, at some weird fucking sex shop where everybody's wearing black leather for some reason. Yeah, so moving on. Maple Grove, another intern, another great show, guys. Question for you both. What is a retcon in comics you hate? For me, it's Wanda and Pietro no longer being mutants or Magneto's kids, because I personally liked that they were and thought it added interesting aspects for all characters. Dude, that's probably the one I fucking hate the most too. Like, they used to be Magneto's kids.
Right.
They used to be mutants. And now they found out they're magically not anymore. That is definitely one. What about you? Any ones that stick out, a retcon in the comics? Something they changed?
Anything that's swapping anything. Race, gender, I don't like any of that.
Yep.
So I'll just go with that big swath.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, other retcons are like, characters die, they bring back, which I don't really care. It's comics, dude. Jay shot it. Started a new job, but I'm tuned in every day on my lunch. Yes, new Superman trailer was all right. And like you said, it's going to walk that silly, serious line, but I think the movie is going to be a hit as they lean more towards the serious stuff. It could potentially be good to start off the DCU. We'll see, though. Yeah, I mean...
Dude, they just better hope.
I really do hope.
Right.
Now, there's a shot, because I don't...
Sure.
I trust James Gunn to an extent, because he's done some great things with Guardians of the Galaxy, but then we had that shit show of the Suicide Squad,
right?
Peacemaker. You like Peacemaker, right?
I do, because it's ridiculously funny. Not like great funny. Yeah, it's just like a ridiculous kind of fun show to watch.
Got it. So yeah, I do, Jay. I do think it will be good. Now, there's levels to good, right? I think it will be at least good. Will it be great? Will it be who knows? Is it going to start off the DCU right, dude? I hope so.
If it doesn't, dude, I mean, imagine. So look at what Fantastic Four did to the Fantastic Four franchise.
Right.
I mean, if this is something like that,
yeah,
it's not going to be good.
I will say this: if this Superman movie doesn't land right, like doesn't start this DCU off strong, their only other option to save it is to put out a DCU Batman movie that's really good soon, because he's their own. I mean, who else do they have that's going to carry that franchise?
I don't know. I mean, at least make it better than Aquaman.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do that, it won't be the massive hit that you want, but at least it's not a failure.
Right.
If you backslide into like a Suicide Squad, you just doomed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hidden gem suggestion: Battle Beast. You know who Battle Beast is?
I've heard the name.
Okay.
I think I do, but I don't want to say.
All right. Well, that's even hidden to you then.
All right. Yep.
Skeletor Triple X, another intern. Shout out. Great show as always, guys. Hit me if I'm wrong, but Tony had the Jocasta chip on his desk when he picks up Friday in the AI for the AI in the suit. He does. I think that was Age of Ultron, maybe. Remember when he's going through the different AIs?
Yeah.
And he chooses Friday because Jarvis is now Vision.
Right.
And there was a Jocasta chip on the table, just a little Easter egg there. Yeah. So you are right, Skeletor. Brandon Jones, another intern. Once again, people nitpicking, complaining about shit that doesn't matter. Yes. Have you guys seen the comments about the Superman trailer and Green Lantern's constructions don't come out of his ring nonsense? Any update on the Punisher Max Omnibus? Yeah, actually, it should be in a couple days. So as soon as I'll let you know. Green Lantern's I've not seen this, but he has these constructs, right? And in the trailer, they don't come out of the ring. He just kind of brings them out of the ground, right? Is that a fucking big deal? Does it really matter?
Well, Yeah.
It does? It's supposed to come out of the ring?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like, is it a big deal that Spider-Man's web comes out of his wrist?
Yes, yeah.
Except when he can't get his dick up. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because everything around the Green Lanterns is the ring power lantern combination. You power up the ring so you can do the constructs.
Yeah.
So now if you don't have the constructs coming out of the ring, do you not also have a lantern? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay. So another unnecessary change.
Mm.
Cheat Mo says, have you guys watched The Last Dragon? I don't know what that is.
From the 80s?
Yeah.
That's only The Last Dragon I know.
Oh, like the Bruce Lee shit?
It's kind of like some, kind of Black Bruce Lee in the hood kind of a thing.
Okay. Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, well, not quite that one. That's Black Dynamite.
Yes, okay.
But no, this is some young kid back in the day. I think Apollonia was in it. So back in those days.
Got it. All right. Lee Shang, halfway through the episode, and I arrived at work annoyed that I have to wait until the end of the day to finish the podcast. Dude, yeah, I hear you. What your work should do is play the podcast for everyone. I don't know where you work, but they should.
Or just get, micro air thingies for your ear. Tell them you got a hearing aid.
Yeah, there you go. Stupid being a grown-up nonsense, yes. I want to comment about the Superman movie again. I was kind of on board with Mike and feeling that this movie will make or break the DCU, but I've changed my mind. Superman isn't what comic fans really care about for the most part. We are more concerned with Batman. Okay, I agree. I think Superman draws in randos to fill out numbers and pad the box office, but Gunn's Batman movie will really be the movie that tells us whether his DCU is going to work. In the meantime, glad to hear filming on Batman 2 is starting again. Much love to you guys. Thanks again for a happy couple hours every week. Yes, our pleasure, actually. It's kind of what you're talking about. I do think that the Batman I don't know that Batman's more make or break. I think if they don't nail it with Superman, that's the only option they got.
Right.
Like Wonder Woman ain't going to save it. Aquaman ain't going to save it. Flash ain't going to save it. You're going to need Batman and or Superman to hit.
Right. Yeah, but you can't. It's going to be hard. It's going to be even harder to. So we're talking about this now, this Superman thing now based off of the, not failure, but the less illustrious history they had so far. So imagine if Superman sucks. Yes. Now you got to have Batman, to kind of pull the entire thing.
Right.
I don't think it's going to work.
You can make a movie about her. Martha. That will save the entire thing. I'm pretty sure.
No, mostly. Make a movie, make it 45 seconds long, put it out in all the theaters. Everybody gonna pay top dollar just to have somebody say Martha for just extend the Martha for 45 seconds.
Yes, definitely. There you go.
And it will bring DC back to life.
Let's push back that movie too. Bro Man Williams says, "What's up, Mike and Adrian? I missed last week because I was falsely arrested for child support. Damn.
Wow.
But after the state realized what they did, I got out. Yo, my man got out, dude. Hey. I was gonna say, if not, we have to wear a free Bro Man t-shirt next week. So glad you got out, bro. So I didn't get to comment last week, but your boy's back. Man, I miss y'all and the boys, aka the interns, world heavyweight champion, out. All right, welcome back, bro. Captain Canada, another week, another banger, another one. Only at Only Comics. Throw that in a t-shirt. All right, we're gonna have to just make that one. We'll make it happen. Sup, guys? I'm off Mondays and Tuesdays, so I catch the show on my free time with some snacks. What you snacking on, bro? Or sometimes before bed. We're just, we're tucking people in at night, Adrian. It's what we do. On Wednesday, if you can't sleep, listen to, that's actually bad. Exactly. No. On Wednesdays, I do catch other stuff at work, so I'm in the working class bracket. Dude, we got a lot of working class folks. Yeah. Shout out to all the people out there working, dude. I can't wait for Abby to show up again and have a few episodes of her kicking her ass like in the game. I feel Ellie's character this season has been a bit weak. Yeah, she's more worried about being a dad. Love the small things Robert Downey Jr. is throwing out about Doom. The Marvel Wastelanders pod with actual actors and sound effects was done beautifully. I haven't checked that out. Lots of Doom in those episodes. I'm going to see Superman with an open mind, not hyping myself up about it, so we'll see. I agree with the live weekends will be great. Appreciate y'all as always. Appreciate you, Captain Canada. Charles Mon says, I hope the fight scenes between Avengers and X-Men are intense and insane. Yeah, I think we all hope that.
Yeah.
Slapper Wrestling. He's our boy. He's on TikTok. He's an intern. He's actually got a nice little TikTok channel too, doing like wrestling edits. So check him out. Guys, you're the GOATs. Appreciate you replying to my comments, taking your time out of your busy lives to deliver a banger of a podcast weekly. Absolutely. I'll get to work on an edit. Oh, he's going to make an edit for us. My TikTok received 77 million views last year. That's awesome, dude. And I like to use that to attract more viewers. So maybe we do some collab or something, slap them. Spider-Man Daredevil crossover definitely needed. Yes, absolutely. Mike, bro, how have you not seen Predator? The new one actually has the Predator as the main protagonist, but I have so many questions to ask you, but I'll keep it to 2. Brother Voodoo, hidden gem, who we actually saw in Comic Moments, right? Yep. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Comic Moments.
Comic Moments earlier. Got me so invested in the character. How would you guys introduce him into the MCU? Who could you tie him in with, the MCU? Actually, how about this? I'll add to his question. What movie could you add with, like a Doctor Strange movie? Like, where would he fit in?
So to me, Brother Voodoo on the Marvel side is like what's his face on the DC side? Constantine.
Okay.
Right. So he could be a limited series kind of a character, right? He can pop in and out. Definitely like a supporting cast kind of a deal.
Okay.
I'm not sure where he could pop it. Definitely anything that has anything to do with demonology, mysticism. Blade, yeah, definitely.
Should you bring him into Blade?
Yeah.
Why not?
Blade would be good.
And we know Marvel likes to keep all the black characters in one movie.
Yeah.
So there you go. Problem solved.
Like, which one are we going to kill off first?
you got plenty of options.
Exactly.
So I would say Blade, or like if they do end up doing Midnight Suns, he'd probably, I don't know if he's ever in the Sun, but he'd be a good background character, or someone they interact with. And I mean, we saw him in the Initiative, where they just, and I obviously didn't dig deep into why they even saw him, but you could pop him in just about anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think he could probably fit like in a Daredevil thing, that whole Hell's Kitchen, this kind of dark, moody kind of a deal. I think he'd fit in somewhere along, but literally anywhere.
Yeah. And then his second question, Slapper says, I have 2 kids. I got a dad question. Do all 7-year-olds act like they're 13? Just about, yeah. Especially the girls.
Right. And then when they get 13, they act like they're 7 again.
Yeah.
It's like, they act like they're 13, but they perform like they're 7. I'll put it that way. It's like, I can't do anything. It's like, I can't, the trash. I can't. Yeah, that.
Yeah, right. I know. I love that. Like, you take trash out? I already did today. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's there. What do you mean I already did today? What is it? A 1 time a day fucking job? Holy shit. So yes, Slap, it ain't just you. And he's over in Australia.
Yeah.
So that means on both sides of the pond, dude, they're doing the same shit.
Well,
unbelievable.
That route is not a pond. the Pacific is not a pond.
That's close. It's close. Rivers, lakes. I don't know.
Again, the Gulf of America.
The Gulf of America. Like, we got more important shit to be dealing with. We're gonna fucking rename this water. I'll show those people. All right. Chillmonger says Robert Downey Jr. didn't read past 3 pages of that comic. What you trying to say, man? Oh, he's just putting it out there for show. I think he did, dude. I think he did. Sons of Sekman, he's got 3 for us here. He's got a trifecta, Adrian. So I wish in Civil War they would have shown Logan hunting down and killing Nitro. Absolutely. So in the comic, Nitro is the one that blows up they're doing a reality show, and he's the one that fucking causes the explosion and kills all these innocent people. So there's a side, they have like the tie-ins. One of the tie-in comics shows Wolverine hunting down Nitro. Okay. That would have been cool to actually see.
Yeah.
And then he says, if they're going to do a Blade movie, do you think if they're not going to do a Blade movie, do you think Mahershala Ali could play the next T'Challa? I mean, he looks the part.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why? Acting wise?
No. I mean, they need somebody presence wise. He could do it.
Okay.
We got to get these older guys out of these things.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So
because remember, T'Challa, the way they introduced him, he's a younger king.
True.
He's being introduced not only as T'Challa the king, but he's also being introduced as Black Panther. But he's also, because his father died, he's also an emissary for his country. So they need this young, because he's got a lot of growth and development and experiences to go through.
Yeah.
And you can't start with an older T'Challa. I don't think.
Got it. So maybe not the main T'Challa, but if we see a variant or something of an established one, like look-wise, acting ability, he could pull it off. I mean, he's got the size, not massive, but I mean, he could put on some. So yeah, potentially, but I agree with Adrian. Yeah, I think we do need someone younger because T'Challa is such an important character to a lot of Marvel event comics, like Civil War. Obviously, that's where he was introduced in the MCU in Civil War. But dude, all these other stories, like even going up to Secret Wars, there's a lot of back and forth between him. That's the one that pisses me off, is not being able to see a T'Challa versus Namor in the MCU with how intertwined those two are. So, and then Sons of Sec, my last comment says, Mike, you not seeing Predator makes my balls hit the lettuce. That's what I do, bro. I hope, I mean, nothing like your balls hitting the lettuce. It must be a good feeling too, nice and cold. Anyway, Spotify, we got JK, amazing episode, guys. Much love from South Korea, dude. That's also on the other side of the pond, Adrian.
Yeah, sure, the pond.
Way over there. It's like a few ponds over. Yeah. Slap of the bass. Wait, is that from that movie? Oh, what the fuck's that movie? Where it's with Paul Rudd, and he's got his friend is Jason something, and they say that they're like pretending they're playing an air guitar or whatever. He's slapping the bass. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways. I hope that's what that's from. Anyways, he says, hey, it's Slappa the Intern. I listen to you on Spotify as well. Oh, this is Slappa. What about a Deadpool Spider-Man crossover? Oh, dude, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Those two going back and forth. Yeah, holy shit.
I think so.
And Ryan Reynolds, Tom Holland, Deadpool, that's perfect.
Yeah. Because you got Deadpool's funniness, whatever, and then you got Peter's naivete, right? So and he's kind of quirky too.
Right.
He also comes off with the jokes a little bit.
Yeah, he's witty too.
But you got to be careful with that, you know, so it doesn't get too funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I think it'd be a great movie.
Absolutely. I haven't seen, but I've heard the comics they're in together are great. Yeah, I haven't really read any of their comics. I've skimmed through a few, but JD Kiwi, now he's done ball slapping the lettuce. He's cock blocking the actor. Mike, you bring the best out of this man. Love everything you guys are doing, Pete. Don't blame me, it's Adrian. Hey. I tell him to say those things. Lynchy, another great show. I love listening to you guys. It helps me get through the week or through the workday talking about comics and superheroes, which I thoroughly enjoy, yes. My only disagreement is I don't understand all the James Gunn hate. Could you guys expand on why it seems like everything Superman related is basically just trashed on with no real basis? I'd say outside of Guardians Volume 2, all of his comic movies have been good. Not glazing him, just don't understand the hate pump for Superman. No, that's glaze, Lynchy. No, I don't hate James Gunn. Like I said earlier, Suicide Squad I did not like at all. I literally fucking hated that movie. And you like Peacemaker, I did not. I probably got to give it another shot. My thing is, he's made some great movies. He's made some mid movies, some bad movies. But he also has a small catalog. It's not like he's got, 50 fucking movies to pick from. So I don't glaze James Gunn. I think that's probably the bigger issue with a lot of people.
No, I don't. A producer is a producer, but guess what producers do? They're not in front of the screen. They're behind the scene. My biggest thing with a lot of these producers is that in this social era, they always want to have their comments. They want to talk for the platform. They want to talk for the theater. Yeah. I mean, that's my problem with it. Okay. Nobody knows, like most producers, in the past, you never even seen them.
Right.
That's just the era that I grew up in, right?
Yeah.
But now when you're in front of the camera as more than the actors themselves, your voice is the movie that you have made.
Right.
Not your voice in addition to the movie that you've made.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with James Gunn, the person. It's just the news. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we see the trailer, go, that's fucking stupid. Whether James Gunn made it, whether Kevin Feige made it, whether fucking you made it, Adrian. Right. If you made it, I'd be like, dude, the Superman flinching like that's fucking stupid.
Exactly.
Even if it was you know, like, so I think that's the bigger thing.
Which they corrected.
Yes, they did.
After watching us here. So I'm just saying.
That part, yes. Hung Solo says, Adrian, just a question. Do you think millionaire, is that how you say it? Millionaire.
Close enough.
Millionaire. Yep. Do you think Millionaire could be a hidden gem?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's got enough storyline. What do you think? Well, there you go. He says absolutely. And just a little bit of positive energy, but y'all's pod is awesome and fun, and thank y'all. I'm still jealous because Florida is hotter than the Human Torch's crotch. Thanks for the news and updates. Yes, well, thank you, Hung Solo.
And getting expensive too, dude. They raping people on like the housing market is dying, right? Yep. But they're asking more for the house. They're actually bringing them down now because they can't get the money that they want. But then the insurance is killing people. I thought it was bad up north, dude.
Do I just added my son to my insurance in his car? Yo, my shit doubled, bro. Like, fuck, man, you need to get another job. C's, let's go, fellas. Another great episode. I told y'all when they did the Doomsday chair reveal, we needed Michael Fassbender in the MCU. Yes. Bryan Cranston would kick ass as Professor Xavier, the dude from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
well, yeah, I think so.
I mean, he's already had a screen casting when he did this movie with what's the little guy that's a tree shrub today?
Oh, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah. He played this guy. He was a millionaire, but he was paralyzed. And
who? Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
And Kevin Hart's character became his like personal assistant or something.
Yeah. And
Cranston was in his wheelchair, and so Kevin Hart's character reinvented the wheelchair, made it like
the upside. It's called.
Yeah. Made these like speedster wheelchairs. So he actually created a business out of that.
Yeah.
But he was his caretaker. So
he's already in the wheelchair.
Yeah, he's already in the wheelchair.
Oh shit.
And was he bald in that?
No. Unfortunately, he had hair. Kevin Hart's in this. Nicole Kidman's in this. Okay. Was it a good movie?
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
Okay. Yeah, I never even heard of it. Oh shit.
So I agree.
Yeah, not just because you saw him in a wheelchair.
No. No, he's Bryan Cranston's a phenomenal actor.
And I think the thing about, I love Patrick Stewart. I love his Professor Xavier, but Patrick Stewart's like, dude, he just strikes you as like a nice guy. Like he comes across as just a nice guy on TV. Professor Xavier is not a nice guy all the time.
I mean, mind fucking people.
Correct.
I mean, not helping Aurora out.
Yeah.
Dude,
Bryan Cranston, we've seen in Breaking Bad, he can play a not so nice guy pretending to be a nice guy.
Sure.
And I just think that part would be more believable. You know, you just see, I mean, I'm sure like as a Star Trek fan, like, oh shit, that's fucking Picard. Like it's
right.
He don't give you that like, oh, he's up to something kind of vibe.
However, I have felt that he was the best Professor Xavier to date until they just kept him around too long. It's like they shifted him from Professor X to Weekend at Bernie's. I mean, he looked like he was dying on the screen.
Correct.
That was kind of cringeworthy to me.
And I think after Logan, every time you see him, at least for me, I think of him and Logan being like the dying old man. Like, wait, why is he now back in the wheelchair? And I get how timelines, all this shit works, but you got it. People are like, that's not how that works. I fucking relax. Time ago, as others. Oh, now we're getting into the TikTok questions, Adrian. So, as others have mentioned in regard to Magneto and his origin, is the timeline. If they're bringing X-Men to current day, age becomes a problem. They'll find a way. So before I even answer, there's a couple of things. We were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis as Magneto. He's too old. Then we talked about Denzel Washington playing him, and we're like, well, he's black. Magneto's, at least I've never seen a black Magneto in the comics. Go Turtle Lego says, I think the problem with Magneto now is the age of the character would have to be in present to have been around during the Holocaust. You'd almost have to change the story at least a little bit. And then Brandon Trevino says, there are black Jews, Yes, motherfucker, I know. But like, let's not act like it's the majority, dude. You know what I mean? And in movies, let's be honest, in entertainment and forms of art, we tend to walk the lines of majority / stereotype, right? Like, so you're not gonna, maybe they're gonna make Denzel a black Jew. Probably not, though. Probably not.
I'm not gonna touch that.
Okay. But this does bring up a valid point, right? If they're bringing Magneto into present day, and his origin, present day being 2025, and his origin is concentration camp, Jew, Holocaust survivor, the timeline does start to get a little, like, my man's going to be 90 years old if it was present day.
Right.
So as much as I'm like, no, keep it the same, what do you remove that from his origin and still keep him a Jewish individual whose maybe his family survived the Holocaust, doesn't have the same effect? Do you change, like we kind of talked about briefly last week, is if you make Magneto character black now, do you tie it more to the civil rights movement, which obviously, shares some similarities, but a lot of differences with the Holocaust? Like, how do you bring that character to present day? It does throw some monkey wrenches in there.
Oh, it's easy. He was a Skrull for the last 50 years. He was in suspended animation during the time that the Skrull took over, and now you just bring him back.
Yeah. Okay. Besides that, see that, that's balls in the lettuce right there. That's too much.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah. But it's a valid point.
It is a valid point, but the other point is that comic book characters don't age or typically die. But if they do, they always come back.
Right.
Like, you never gonna bring back a Tony Stark? That's bullshit. You're never gonna bring back a T'Challa? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're timeless, irrespective of what timeline they're in.
Sure.
But anyway, you know what? Obviously, I'm not getting money doing this fucking podcast. I'm definitely not getting money for making movies. So the producers, instead of being in front of the camera, why don't you go into a dark room and figure out how to bring Magneto back, relevant to this time?
Right.
How about you do that?
But as much as I hate to admit that someone on TikTok made a valid point,
he did make a valid point.
Yeah, he did. So, but
I'm still not down with the race swapping though.
No.
I don't give a shit what it is.
And I guess my thing is, I know we've seen Magneto on screen a couple times, right? Before we do these new versions, can we get like a definitive, can we get someone to knock it out of the park,
right,
and then fucking change it?
Yep.
That's also some of my issue. Like, I'm not a big fan of the gender race swapping, but especially when they do it to characters that have never been on screen before, like never had their shot. Like, do someone like you want to, change, like they did with Spider-Man. They created Miles Morales, another variant.
Right.
Well, we've been Peter Parkered out for a while. We're good. Bring Miles on screen. I'm good. But not the first time. Don't make, Doom Mrs. Doom the first time.
Right.
So anyways, Darwin Manuel says the only reason they cast Robert Downey Jr. is because of the failure to properly introduce Doom. They want instant cash. RDJ does not fit as Doom. See, here we go. No, you're fucking. Now, I know anyone can have an opinion, Adrian, but this one's fucking wrong. Makes no sense. Also, y'all don't need to do anything, but you should do this. Stop fucking criticizing a movie studio for trying to make money.
It's a business.
If they don't make money, you don't get no fucking movies.
Movie studios and churches.
Right.
They're business.
Well, one's not supposed to be. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cash grab. Bro, if the movie loses money, you ain't going to get any more. So we're going to criticize you for figuring out ways to make money. And I don't think that's the only reason they cast them. The Russo brothers said with the Doom story they're trying to tell, with that version of Doom, Robert Downey Jr. is the only one that can bring that one to life, in their opinion.
So I forget who said it, but when they made, what was it? Terminator.
Yep.
Right? Or Conan. So obviously Schwarzenegger's in both of those, right?
Right.
And the director said when they were making one of those two movies, he said this about, he was like, if there wasn't a Schwarzenegger, we would have had to make somebody.
I think it was Conan. I do remember that.
Right.
Yep.
So in other words, he was the perfect person for that movie. If they didn't have that person, they would have had to invent somebody in order to do that. And this is I'm sure the Russo brothers is saying that about RDJ.
Yeah. And I don't, do I think he's the only actor in the world? No. But where is an easy transition. They've worked with, there's a lot of pieces to it. They've worked with him before. They've done big projects before. He is a fucking household name. So they did have to shift focus with Kang when that happened, right? Where how you feel about it, it happened. They had to come up with a new plan. So why not go with something It's like, where do you want to go to eat, Adrian? You want to try this new place that just opened yesterday, or you want to go to your favorite spot? 9 times out, now sometimes we'll try the new spot, but 9 times out of 10, if you're like, dude, I just want a good meal, I'm going to my favorite spot.
Right. But I do feel this about the whole thing. I would have preferred if they did not cast RDJ as Doom, because Doom is the actor. So like Chris Hemsworth is Thor, right? Yep. You got RDJ as Iron Man. I wouldn't want to see him swing over to another massive character, right? And so they could have given really anybody, not anybody, but they would have had to have found that character that they could cast as Doom. They chose RDJ. I'm cool with it, but I would have preferred if they actually found somebody else.
Got it.
So I kind of agree with what he's saying.
Okay.
As far as them bringing the cash in by announcing RDJ, I think the movie itself would have brought in whoever.
Right.
Now, are they going to get a little bit more because RDJ is in it? Probably.
Yeah.
But I think the movie itself would have done that eventually.
Sure. Big Tris says, I agree 100%. Doom is too popular of a character to create a build-up for him. We talked about they don't need this Thanos build-up. I agree. Right. CR Tough. I love this pod, bro. The most grounded pod on the net. Yes, he gets it. And then we got this fella here, Rain Ruiz. Y'all the only comic book podcast that doesn't think James Gunn cooked with the Superman trailer. Bitch, did you fucking watch you're the only one. No, you know what? We're the only comic podcast you need to watch because we're the only ones that are going to tell you the absolute fucking truth, not what you want to hear. So there's that. Nephestus. I like that name. We got a lot of movies with X-Men in them, some even called X-Men, but we didn't get X-Men movies till Deadpool 1, 2, and Logan. What did I just say?
Yeah, exactly.
100%, dude. We're on the same page. Dude, I'm liking the TikTok comments this week. Matthew Fink, I don't know which one will be a better movie, but in my humble opinion, I'm personally looking more forward to Superman. Love you guys. See, he's respectful about it. You know?
Exactly.
I am looking more forward to Fantastic Four.
I'm looking more forward to the Fantastic Four. The thing with the Superman movie is the math wasn't mathing in there to me. So I'm just nitpicking because, they have not really done. Superman is one of those characters where pretty much every time they make a movie about him, they kind of got to get it right.
Yeah.
Right. The flinching when somebody throws a paper cup at him, they corrected that. Right.
Right.
Him protecting a girl from exploding cylinders or some shit, but they don't go under his cape. Is his cape, Superman too?
It's magic.
So his legs are wide open. This girl is in between. So the cylinders don't go between that. So that's not mathing, right? So it's just weird stuff.
Yeah.
In the absence of a great movie, and you have to. I'm not saying James Gunn is shit. He's a producer that has produced, like you said, not so good stuff, mid stuff, and some good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But he's got to get in with the run that they've had now with the DC characters, especially this character. They got to kind of get it more right. I'm not saying they got to be perfect. I'm not saying it's got to be a blockbuster, but it's got to be more right than not.
Yeah. And his style is funny, comedy. They have some heart to them, right? Like Guardians has some heart to it,
right?
But it's the balance of comedy, heart, and sometimes I don't know that. I hope this Superman movie doesn't have as much comedy as the Guardians movies, if that makes sense.
Right.
I don't think that fits. Some comedy, sure, but not over the top. Like Superman don't need to be a fucking comedian,
right?
You don't need to be Ryan Reynolds singing it. Is that a thing?
I think a lot of people that watch us probably, I won't say a lot of people, but some people don't get when we shit on a movie or point out a lot of his defects. It's like a guy thing, right? If a guy is always picking on the girl, what does that mean? He likes the girl.
Yes.
Right? If we're picking on a movie, that means that we want the movie to do good.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we're just having fun shitting on it in the process.
But you're going to make fun of your own siblings more than other people's,
Absolutely.
Right? But if someone else fucks with your sibling, then it's a wrap. Yeah, but I can whip their asses. All right. Raziel says, I believe Days of Future Past was a perfect X-Men movie. It only missed an honest original 5 X-Men, but given first class lineup, that wouldn't have worked. I think that's Glaze, Raziel. I wouldn't say perfect. It was the best of the X-Men movies that weren't named like the actual X-Men movies.
Right.
Take out Logan, those Deadpool movies. But perfect, I think it still didn't nail that tone of X-Men. Like my boy said, you had the fucking Dyson vacuum cleaner looking Sentinels. Are y'all gonna fight or are you gonna vacuum the fucking yard? What are you gonna do? Clean this shit up. At least after we destroy one of you, the other one can vacuum that one up.
There you go.
Looking like you're sponsored by fucking Dyson out here. Knock the shit off. Jason Martin last. Did you ask about 100 gorillas versus Wolverine? Wolverine.
Wait a minute. 100 gorillas against Wolverine?
Yeah.
Wolverine would have been gone a long time ago.
Think so?
Yeah.
The adamantium though, the healing factor, Adrian.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Damn. Okay. And I'm going Team Wolverine, dude. I'm all for it. All right, Adrian. Hidden gem is are the gorillas your hidden gem this week?
No,
Okay.
it is not. So we rolling right into that?
Rolling right into that, dude.
I was waiting for some more TikTok comments, man.
No, that was it, dude. I've had enough of those fuckers today.
All right. So this week was a request. So I'm honoring a request this week.
Okay.
It's Mephisto. It's interesting. This is an interesting character. And I love that even though, I'm presenting a hidden gem, I also learn some things as I go down these bunny trails, right?
Yes.
So Mephisto, a shortened form of Mephistopheles.
Okay.
It's like my government name is Mephistopheles. Just call me Mephisto.
Yeah, who named you?
Mufasa. So Mephisto, a lot of people think that he is Satan, like Lucifer, but he's not. He's like one of many entities that came about a billion years ago. And he likes to take advantage of the whole Lucifer Satan kind of myth or whatever, right? He can possess people. He does collect souls, but he is not the Satan so he's not a swap out or another name for Satan.
Okay.
Just a completely different entity altogether. He's extra dimensional demon, rules his own dimension. He has his own dimension. So when he brings people, he brings them to his dimension. He likes the fact that people think it's hell because it feeds his narrative, right?
So he's aware of the confusion that people think
Correct.
He's the devil.
And he takes advantage of it. Yes.
Why is everyone that has their own dimension gotta go to other dimensions and fuck with people? It's just society. Always. Just stay in your fucking dimension, bro.
Well, I mean, that's his thing. So not only, but he's been around for so long, he just likes fucking with people.
He got bored. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna list off some names, dude. He's been around since. So there's a version where he's interacting with Adam and Eve, even though he's not the Satan, right? So 1,000 BC, a million years BC, all the way up through present. So fucking around with Adam and Eve, Silver Surfer, Thor, Dr. Doom, Ghost Rider. Even the original Ghost Rider, he even has the power, and I get into this with his powers. He has the power to bestow people with the Ghost Rider energy. Norman and Harry Osborn, Doctor Strange, the Beyonder, Franklin Richards, Scarlet Witch, Nighthawk, Black Panther, Mockingbird, Molecule Man. So, in other words, he falls into the narrative of Lucifer, even though he's not. So what he does is, I mention all these names because he has tempted these people throughout time, right, to do certain things because he just likes to taunt and toy with people. So his thing is, he even plays games, right? And that's one of his powers where he will say, hey, I got an offer for you, Mike. If you can guess my name, I'll give you whatever you want. But if not, then I'll take your soul kind of shit. So, and it's a binding thing, right? Shit. So he just does that stuff because at some point, just being evil, the presence of evil just doesn't do it for him anymore, right? So it's like, if you go on to Marvel Rivals and you can beat anybody on the platform, it just doesn't become fun for you anymore. So now you got to start doing other things that even though I'm going to continue playing Marvel Rivals, I need to do other things. I need to introduce other things to make it fun for me because just beating everybody's ass is not doing it for me anymore. That's where he's at.
Maybe playing while your balls are in the lettuce.
That.
Okay.
Yes, that. So some of his powers, obviously superhuman strength, over 100 tons. And 100 tons, that puts him in the Thor range.
Okay.
The unenraged Hulk range.
Yeah.
So powerful guy, the speed, the stamina. He, unlike the super soldier serum, he never runs out of stamina. So he can go on and he can do this for a billion years, which he has done, right? Invulnerability is not to say that he cannot be hurt, but his healing is such that it's pretty much instantaneous. Obviously, he's got the immortality thing going on. Obviously, the regeneration, magic. A lot of he can use it to not only do things external to him, but he can use it to enhance his own power. He can make him, get bigger, smaller, physical strength. He can increase that. Use it to levitate, teleport, project mystical energies as force blasts, become invisible, matter manipulation, image projection, so on and so forth, right? He can, he's got the dream walking thing. He can invade the dreams of others and torture them, right? Energy projection. He can project powerful mystical energy blasts. The Hellfire generation, and projection and breath. He can generate heat. But of course, being a spawn of hell per se, he's also immune to fire or heat, right? He can cast projections, manipulate matter, precognition. He can see into the past and the future. He can actually see his own future, right?
Oh, like the dude from he was in Black Adam with the helmet. Fuck. The old
Dr.
guy.
Fate.
Dr. Fate,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. So he can summon demons, and he can summon people whether you allow him to or not. So if he wants Mike's soul, right, he can just summon you to him, whether you give him permission to or not, right?
Nah. I don't approve of that shit.
Telekinesis, telepathy, teleportation, time manipulation. He can reverse time. He can stop time. So this is a bad dude, right? He can alter his appearance. He likes that demonic look. Nobody really knows. He's been around so long. Nobody not only knows where he came from, they don't really know what he looks like. But he likes that devil look. You know, the red skin with the horns and vampirish kind of a thing. So he doesn't look like just a demon, but he looks like a vampire demon, right?
Yeah.
But he normally takes that form, but he can make himself look like any human or any animal. He can increase his size, things like that. Necromancy. He can capture and detain souls of recently deceased humans, even though if he can't get a human, he'll even take the aliens that's on the planet too.
The
so he's like, the Anunnaki, all of
them.
Damn. The soul is a soul to this dude.
Shit.
He don't give a shit. He can also bestow power. I talked about Johnny Blaze, right?
Yeah.
So he can bestow the spirits of vengeance on people, make them ghost riders. He can warp reality. Now, that's when it comes into like these mystic deals and these bets, right? He does the bets and he does the deals. So and they're binding whatever they do. The penance there. This is interesting because he can bestow you with the spirit of vengeance power, right? The penance there, which the Ghost Rider has, you know, the one that make you regret all the shit that you've done in your life.
Yep.
Well, it has no effect on him. As a matter of fact, it makes him more powerful, right? So if the Ghost Rider tries to do that penance there, it's actually going to make him stronger.
Dude, so funny thing about that, Devil's Reign, it's a comic where Kingpin takes over as mayor, right?
Yep.
Illegal to be a superhero, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, there's a part where Ghost Rider does that penance there to Kingpin, and he actually enjoys all the fucked up shit he did. So it did nothing. Like he relived it and was like, okay, and like nothing, dude. Yeah, it was pretty badass.
So for Kingpin, he's neutral to it. He can get off on it.
Right.
But for this cat, it actually makes him stronger.
That's crazy.
So that's crazy. Cosmic awareness. He can look into infinite alternate realities and multiverses at will. He can possess an unknown degree of medium. He has the ability to. So this cat is so bad, right? He can be fighting, say like Doctor Strange, and then he can pause it and then do some fourth wall shit and start narrating to the observer himself what's going on in the battle, right? Dimensional entrapment. That's when he can entrap a living human within his realm, regardless of whether you agree to it or not, kind of a thing. He can also create avatars. He can use vermin that he controls to form an avatar for himself. So you can send a rat as a representative, make it look like him, things like that.
Little Trojan horse.
Little Trojan horse kind of a deal. So this dude is bad, man. So not only is he, so again, the important thing is he's not the devil that we know, like they say, stay with the devil, right? Yep. Well, he's not that cat.
Got it.
He's a being that has his own dimension, kind of like the Beyonder, right? He was born into his own dimension, kind of a deal.
Yeah, same thing. He couldn't fucking stay there though.
He couldn't stay there. Somebody cracked his dimension. He had a glimpse and let me go fuck with these humans, right? So he has his own. He has his own dimension in which he can bring souls and other people to, right? and he plays on the whole devil thing because it makes people fear him even more.
Yeah.
He gets off on it. And he has all these crazy powers. I mean, just stopping time, rewind. He's like got a video recorder. He just backwards, forward. See his own
chronovisor, like the Vatican.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably got one.
Exactly. Well, who you think gave it to the Vatican?
Mephisto did.
I'm just saying, dude.
Damn.
But no, this is a interesting cat. Again, let's not make a short about. I mean, probably he's one of those people that you do like a mini series.
Okay.
1 or 2 shows. Kind of introduce them, give them a little
limited series,
right? And then just pop them in here and there. So with the Galactus thing, I think this would be another one of those characters where like above and beyond kind of intergalactic characters that should come in every once in a while, do some damage, rape some people, and then move on, you know? Mephisto.
Yeah, and he's been mentioned in the MCU. In Agatha has talked, I don't know if it was in WandaVision or in Agatha's show, but she mentioned Mephisto and at least referred to his existence. And then there's a rumor that Sacha Baron Cohen, who plays fucking Borat, is going to play Mephisto in Ironheart, the series.
I mean, I'm sure he's matured over the years, but when I saw him, that cat couldn't pull off this cat.
Right.
Unless you really go into, I said rape earlier, don't take it as in like rape, but I'm talking about just going around fucking things up, right? He would have to do kind of that mischievous part because again, like I said, Mephisto's been around for so long, it's not even fun to him to do the things that he does.
Yeah.
So he's got to add his own kind of twist to it. And I'm thinking that's probably the spin they'll give it if they have this Borat guy play him.
Now, dude, he's a good actor. Like, I think we've just pretty much only seen him in funny shit. But I think when you can get in the character, like he's not just being himself making jokes, he is playing that character, Borat. So like obviously he can act.
Sure.
You know, I think as people get messed up, well, you know, Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Tony Stark. No, he's an actor, dude. He's going to get on screen as Doom, and he's not going to look, sound, or have a Tony Stark presence about him because he's a fucking actor.
Right.
So I think he could pull it off, dude.
Probably. I think people see him as like the Weird Al Yankovic of acting,
right?
Kind of a deal.
Yep. But shit, if you can do that, you can definitely play serious roles. It's just that's what he excels at, or at least that's what he's known for. But so Mephisto, dude, I'd love to see him show up. And I mean, I guess that's one layer of intrigue to Ironheart that I kind of forgot about. So just find out because he's in it. They've not confirmed it. The rumor is that he's playing Mephisto, and they've not confirmed what character he's playing. We just know he's in it. So who knows? Remains to be seen, as they say.
Remains to be seen.
So another great hidden gem, Adrian. That was a suggestion from one of our lovely viewers.
Yep.
It was a good suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't always get good suggestions, you know.
No, we don't.
One time we had a
we only had really one.
I know. It's my boy, John. You're still my boy, John Bonvon. We'll never forget you.
After that suggestion, we never will.
Right. You just are on suggestion timeout. You're going to be back, though. One of these days you'll have one. So, all right, Adrian, we are moving on. We are going to wrap this. Actually, one thing. When you were mentioning how he kind of like tricks these individuals, like makes deals with them, tricks them.
The bets.
You ever seen a movie called Wishmaster?
30 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah.
Where like he's like this genie, but he's actually like a devil type entity, almost like a Mephisto type character. He hides in like human form and he grants your wishes, but like he twists them. Like he'll like pay real attention to your wording, and whatever you say, he'll basically imprison you. Like I don't remember exact, but it was a good movie. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made me think of that. Like, hey, I'll grant you your wish, but a little trickery in there. So, anyways, we're gonna wrap this thing up. A little agree to disagree, Adrian. We got a whole new camera shot for these guys today. So yeah, it's because the interns are doing all the work. Or Adrian did this earlier. So a little teamwork. It's teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork.
Yeah, but the team just fucking us. No one else helps. So, anyways, agree to disagree. This is where I throw out a handful of my opinions at Adrian. Adrian lets me know if he agrees or disagrees. And for some reason, all of you get this weird condition. It's called butthurt. It's fun. Not all of you, just a good portion.
Some of you.
And guess what? We don't give a fuck. but we appreciate the interaction. So anyways, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking go.
Number one, despite my crash out earlier, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars being pushed back is actually a good thing.
Agree.
Yes, I've calmed myself down. Okay. So, and in hindsight, unaliving Tony Stark in Endgame was a major fucking mistake.
Agree.
Deadpool 1 and 2 were more X-Men than any of the actual X-Men movies.
Agree.
If I only had enough money to watch one movie in July, Adrian, I'm down to my last few bucks. I'm picking Fantastic Four over Superman.
Agree.
Unfortunately, the Ironheart series, this is a prediction, the Ironheart series is going to be a complete failure.
I disagree.
Okay. I hope you're right.
Yeah, me too.
I just think I'm going to be the only one watching it. Me and Dominique Thorne, it's going to be us watching it. So
I mean, I'm thinking about Echo and I'm thinking about She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And to me, those were failures.
Okay.
So I hope they learn from that.
Yes. Yeah. But now, even with that, Echo had some bright spots, the whole Fisk involvement,
Sure.
right?
But that's also what makes it such a failure.
Right.
Because it should have been a Fisk, a Kingpin thing with an Echo component as opposed to what it was.
Yep. So let's hope it's not as bad as those two. Let's just hope it's not secret invasion level. Jesus. Ugh. All right. Based on Snapple's Fantastic Four First Step promo art, it looks like Marvel cooked on the look of Galactus.
Agree.
We do not need a Silver Surfer solo movie.
Agree.
And everybody watching this, whether we pissed you off or not, shut the fuck up. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe, support the show.
Wow, I agree with that. But that's a lot of commands.
It is
a
lot.
Yeah, a little contradiction.
Please, if you don't mind.
Shut the fuck up. But
if you don't mind,
if you don't mind.
Hey, with all due respect.
There you go.
And peace be with you.
There you go.
I'm hitting them all this week.
Hit them all.
These. So, anyways, dude, that's the show. Yeah, keep this view. I like this. I see both of us.
Yeah,
go back and forth, dude. It's like a tag team,
There you go.
So, Adrian, that's the show this week. We had a fun ride. I'm liking comic moments. Nice hidden gem. I was surprised by that. Are you gonna add a millionaire to your hidden gem?
I will add millionaire to the roster.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna say it. I don't know. I don't know how to talk, dude.
That's okay.
It's okay. You know what I meant.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, well, they also know who you're talking about.
Absolutely. They all knew. So, and where can you find more of us before next week? Since you asked, Adrian.
Hey.
Other stuff. This Wednesday. We got coming up, dude. I got some info about the Bible, how it was created. Yep. And I jumped ahead and read some comments, and someone asked about MK Ultra.
Okay.
So I did a little deep dive on that. So we're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, technically two forms of mind control. The Bible, MK Ultra. I don't know, depending on your perspective. But where can you find that? If you go to our YouTube page or if you go to the description of this video, there's a link to join the membership, become a Legion of Intern member. So you'll be an official intern here. It's all $4.99 a month. Gets you an extra podcast once a week where we get into all the other stuff. Right. You get this podcast a little bit early. You get shout outs in the comments and be more stuff to come.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, thanks for coming out today.
Absolutely.
Another fun week here and happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. Enjoy your day off. Most of y'all are working, folks. Most of y'all have the day off. So
I don't know what that means. So
no, me neither. I know sometimes we're like, it's Monday morning. I'm like, bitch, I work 7 days a week. I don't fucking know what morning it is.
Exactly.
Just do this fucking shit and shut up.
Yep.
Anyways, we appreciate y'all checking us out. Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Yep.
We'll see you next week right here on Only Comics.
Peace.